Moreover, Wang Yu is well acquainted with elite figures such as Wang Xizong and Qin Fun, making his presence at their school alongside the beautiful Karina all the more intriguing to the students. There are whispers about whether Karina is also Wang Yu's girlfriend, especially given the numerous speculations circulating online. With her arm linked through Wang Yu's, Karina beams with delight at the envious glances thrown their way. She does not mind that Wang Yu has overshadowed her. Rather, she relishes the attention, believing that Wang Yu's excellence only serves to affirm her discerning taste in partners. Wang Yu's impressive lineage, coupled with his height and striking looks, positions him as a paragon of desirability, a true favorite of the heavens. Even though Wang Yu may have multiple girlfriends, including one from a neighboring school, Karina remains unfazed, for in Fudan University, she is his sole romantic interest. The surrounding girls, witnessing her radiant demeanor, are filled with envy and a longing to take her place, their eyes betraying their jealousy. They whip out their phones to capture images of Wang Yu and Karina, posting them on campus forums and Douyin, igniting a flurry of discussions. Some express jealousy, suggesting that the mixed-race beauty must have used some charm to ensnare Wang Yu, claiming they could achieve the same if given the chance. Others voice a more blatant envy of Karina's fortune. There are even harsh criticisms online, accusing Wang Yu of harboring biases against Chinese women for choosing to date a foreigner like Karina. Nonetheless, the majority maintain a friendly disposition towards Wang Yu and Karina, quietly liking the videos. Karina occasionally glances at Wang Yu, her eyes filled with admiration, unfazed by the online chatter. She feels content simply to share a part of Wang Yu's life. As they exchange amusing anecdotes, Karina animatedly recounts her experiences in Russia, while Wang Yu listens with a smile, nodding in appreciation. The tales of winter in Russia ignite a yearning within Wang Yu. He wonders about the breathtaking beauty of the Siberian wilderness and how it compares to the Winter Palace and the Forbidden City. He is eager to experience the thrill of hunting as described by Karina and to discover for himself whether tiger meat truly lives up to its reputation. Chapter 228. A smile that could light up the world as the affairs of the entertainment industry draw to a close. The investment projects have begun to take shape, with ample funding allowing directors, producers, and casting teams to work swiftly. All parties are eager to bring their creations to fruition. The capital flows freely across various sectors, and investment managers are diligently engaged in their tasks, granting Wang Yu the time he desires to pursue his interests. Despite the school term being well underway, he has spent more time in bed than in his studies, and now he finds himself at Karina's school. "Honey, perhaps we should reconsider going." Karina suddenly halted, hesitating momentarily before speaking. Wang Yu gently tucked a stray strand of hair behind her ear, responding playfully, "What's the matter? Afraid I might embarrass you?" Though his words were teasing, his gaze caught the tension in her posture. "I'll inform the principal that you won't be able to make it. After all, your money isn't simply a gift from the wind," he consoled, shaking his head. "Moreover, my precious girlfriend is here studying. I wouldn't want to trouble the school leadership on your behalf. If I were to be absent and you faced any adversity, I would regret it beyond measure." Karina bit her lip, wishing to say more, but Wang Yu took her hand, leading her toward the principal's office. Shortly thereafter, they arrived at the faculty building. Wang Yu guided Karina into the elevator, ascending to the top floor of the office building. They paused before the principal's office, where Wang Yu held Karina's small hand and knocked on the door. "Come in," a deep male voice resonated from within. Without hesitation, Wang Yu opened the door and stepped inside, his expression one of surprise upon witnessing the scene before him. The principal's office was filled with people, who promptly rose to greet him as he entered. At the forefront stood a man in his 50s, impeccably dressed in a white shirt, his hair neatly combed. From a distance, he extended his hand towards Wang Yu, saying, "Greetings, young Master Wang. You didn't announce your arrival. We were just about to come and fetch you. My apologies for the oversight." "Principal Chun, you are too kind," Wang Yu replied with a nod and a smile. Principal Chun, the head of Fudan University, had learned of Karina's relationship with Wang Yu and requested her assistance in conveying a message, hoping Wang Yu might consider making a donation to the school for infrastructure maintenance and scholarships for underprivileged students. "Hello, Principal," Karina chimed in, greeting him as well. Having been a student at the university for some time, she had never encountered the amiable Principal Chun or the other school leaders in such a friendly manner. The director of education beamed with joy, eagerly shaking hands with Wang Yu and exchanging pleasantries. It was indeed a rare opportunity to meet such individuals, most of whom she had only seen during the opening ceremony. "Karina, you've worked hard as well," Principal Chin remarked, casting a kind glance in her direction. "You are a student here. There's no need to be so nervous. Just be yourself." Karina nodded, her expression easing slightly. However, in the presence of the school's authorities. She felt somewhat uneasy. Only by glancing at Wang Yu beside her did she feel slightly more at ease. Having grown up abroad, one would assume that she would not fear teachers, given the educational environment overseas. Yet, inexplicably, upon returning to her homeland and encountering the array of teachers and school leaders, a sense of trepidation enveloped her. Principal Chun did not engage much with Karina, instead turning his attention to Wang Yu, smiling as he remarked, "Young Master Wang, while you generously offer donations to our school, you refrain from allowing us to promote your benevolence among the students. Such character truly deserves to be emulated by the students." Classmate Karina is also an exemplary student, possessing both virtue and academic prowess. The school takes pride in having students like you. Young Master Wang, your refusal of a donation ceremony leaves us uncertain on how to express our gratitude. On behalf of all the teachers, we extend our sincerest thanks. Principal Chun continued, "Rest assured, young Master Wang, this donation will remain confidential among our faculty. We shall ensure that no one intrudes upon your privacy." Wang Yu nodded appreciatively. Principal Chun, embodying the esteemed position of the president of Fudan University, conducted affairs with meticulous precision. His agreement to donate 100 million was indeed a considerable honor for Wang Yu. Should this news circulate, countless schools and organizations would surely approach him for contributions. His proactive assurance was evidently meant to put Wang Yu at ease. For an ordinary individual, 100 million is an astronomical figure. However, for an institution like Fudan University, it is relatively modest, especially considering the substantial annual allocations from the Ministry of Education. Nevertheless, Principal Chun did not underestimate Wang Yu due to the monetary aspect. Rather, he treated him with utmost respect, honoring the occasion. To someone of his stature, such a sum is trivial. It is Wang Yu's background that captured his attention. Wang Yu made no demands, simply bringing Karina along. Principal Chun understood his intentions. Though Karina was merely an average student academically, in Principal Chun's words, she transformed into a paragon of excellence. Within the office, the esteemed faculty members recognized Karina, ensuring that she would receive special consideration in future encounters. "My apologies for the trouble, Principal Chun," Wang Yu said, glancing at Karina, seemingly unaware of the intricacies of societal norms in Huagua, stood obediently behind him. "No trouble at all," Principal Chun quickly waved his hand, stating, "We owe our gratitude to young Master Wang. This donation will greatly enhance our campus environment. The students should indeed express their thanks to you." Wang Yu chose not to elaborate further, merely retrieving his phone. In the presence of Principal Chun and the teachers, he dialed Long Lily. Shortly thereafter, the sum of 100 million was transferred into the school's public account. Beep. The system has detected the host's expenditure of 100 million, with a double cashback of 200 million. Beep. Congratulations to the host for earning 10,000 system points. After the donation, Principal Chun approached Wang Yu's side. The teachers also gathered around. The Director of Education produced a donation plaque and handed it to Wang Yu and Principal Chun. It bore the inscription thanking Wang Yu for his generous donation of 100 million to the university. 3, 2, 1. The director adjusted the focus and pressed the shutter. The moment was captured in time. The donation ceremony concluded successfully. Rest assured, this contribution will be used solely for the benefit of the students and the development of the school. I guarantee that there will be no misappropriation of funds. I will ensure that the school's finances meticulously document the purpose of every expenditure for your review, he assured. That won't be necessary. I trust Principal Chin's unwavering dedication to the school's advancement, Wang Yu replied with a smile. The students of this university are truly fortunate to have a principal like you. Chapter 229, The Flower-Laden Palanquin. Principal Chun paid Wang Yu due respect. Wang Yu, of course, was equally generous with his compliments. After all, such ceremonies require collective effort. Moreover, he genuinely did not concern himself with the potential misuse of the 100 million. His background assured him of that. Oh, not at all. As the principal of this university, it is my utmost honor to cultivate talent for the nation. Your generous contribution today only adds to our efforts in nurturing future leaders. Principal Chun responded, "Rest assured, this funding will be allocated wisely, whether for constructing new laboratories or assisting underprivileged students, ensuring that every penny is spent transparently." A hint of pride flickered in his eyes as he spoke. The Director of Education eagerly chimed in, his face beaming with flattery. "Indeed, with your noble intentions, Wang Yu, our university will produce talents who can become the nation's pillars of support, all thanks to your support." Principal Chun patted Wang Yu's shoulder. "Having a young talent like you, who cares deeply about education, is indeed a blessing for our educational community. Wang Yu's words brought a broad smile to Principal Chen's face. As the principal, being praised for being beloved by students delighted him far more than accolades regarding his position, especially coming from Wang Yu. He almost wished to record Wang Yu's words to boast to his old friends. Karina stood beside Wang Yu, observing the sycophantic crowd. Once, these individuals held their heads high in his presence. Now, due to Wang Yu's status and generous donation, their attitudes had performed a complete reversal. Money truly is a powerful asset. Young Master Wang, may I inquire if you have time for a casual meal in the school cafeteria? The teachers are all present. The director of education and the school leaders eagerly awaited Wang Yu's response. Those present were the senior leadership of the school. Ordinary teachers clearly did not qualify to join. To the average students, they were lofty figures, eager to curry favor. However, to Wang Yu, their statuses meant little. After all, he belonged to the Wang family. Wang Yu had garnered significant attention online recently. Despite attempts to conceal his identity, the truth had eventually surfaced. In light of Wang Yu's formidable background, they found themselves in awe. The minor leaders of these schools naturally sought to curry favor with Wang Yu, perhaps hoping to catch his eye and soar to great heights. Wang Yu furrowed his brow and nodded, saying, "Since all of you teachers are so enthusiastic, it would seem ungracious of me to decline." A faint smile graced his lips, and though his words appeared amiable, they concealed the calmness unique to those in positions of power. Haha, as long as young Master Wang does not disdain us old fellows. Principal Chen chuckled, his face breaking into a multitude of creases upon receiving Wang Yu's agreement to dine with them. You are all esteemed educators. How could I possibly hold any disdain? Wang Yu replied with a smile. Thus, the group exited the principal's office and made their way to the lower level of the administrative building. Their assembly immediately drew the attention of the students on campus. Principal Chen, the director of education, and other school leaders, figures rarely seen, let alone gathered together, captivated the students' curiosity. They were astonished to see Wang Yu and Karina encircled by these leaders. Wang Yu wore a serene expression, while Karina appeared somewhat anxious. Though she managed to maintain her composure, Principal Chen and the other leaders were all smiles, exchanging amusing anecdotes. They expressed their disdain for the audacious actions of the brilliant media in targeting the whale capital matter, their words laced with compliments for Wang Yu. The students could hardly believe their eyes. Wasn't Wang Yu also a student? How could he maintain such an air of ease in front of the leaders, unlike them, who often felt intimidated in the presence of their instructors, let alone the principal or the director of education? The disparity was striking. One student seized their phone to record the scene and posted it on the campus forum. Topics like Wang Yu and national husband were already trending, and this new post attracted immediate attention. "Oh my goodness, compared to Wang Yu, I feel utterly dull," exclaimed one student. "The gap between people is even greater than that between dogs. Isn't that male got a student from the finance university? Why is he mingling with our school leaders?" Another remarked, "I think they're heading to the cafeteria. I must go see." "Oh no, Senior Karina is so beautiful. How could she be taken away by Wang Yu?" Cried another, "Help. Young Master Wang is so handsome. Those eyes are killing me. I can't take it anymore. Sisters." The school's forum, which had just settled, erupted once more due to Wang Yu. Under Principal Chen's guidance, Wang Yu and Karina arrived at the school cafeteria, entering the exclusive private room reserved for school leaders. At Principal Chen's invitation, Wang Yu took a seat, with the principal sitting beside him. Soon, the dishes were served, simple home-cooked meals, yet surprisingly delectable. The director of education leaned forward to pour wine for Wang Yu, smiling obsequiously. "Young Master Wang, this is a 20-year-old vintage cherished by our principal, opened especially for you. Karina, do try this." Principal Chen personally pushed a bowl of chicken soup toward her, his gaze far gentler than usual. "This was simmered for 3 hours, specifically for you to taste." The concerned gazes of the teachers in attendance were directed towards Karina, who had previously been met with indifference regarding her request to change dormitories. As the evening progressed and the atmosphere in the private room grew increasingly vibrant, the mingling sense of wine and flattery filled the air. Principal Chen, his face aglow, rose with a glass in hand, exhibiting a scornful demeanor as he cleared his throat and remarked, "Young Master Wang, this time Huiguang Media has truly overstepped its bounds. Daring to contend with Jingtuan Capital, it's akin to a mantis attempting to stop a chariot." Indeed, another chimed in, "The owner of Huiguang Media ought to reflect on their position. Before young Master Wang, their meager financial maneuvers resemble mere child's play. After such a significant setback, they will likely be subdued for quite some time." The head of instruction eagerly concurred, setting down his chopsticks with a laugh. The other teachers nodded in agreement, each taking turns to deride the folly of Huiguang Media. Tales of their prior investment failures sparked laughter among the group, while others pointed out their chaotic internal management and alarmingly high employee turnover rates. In that moment, Huiguang Media was likened to a rat scurrying across the street, devoid of any redeeming qualities. Wang Yu maintained a serene smile, leisurely absorbing the discussions around him, occasionally lifting his glass for a sip, yet contributing little to the conversation. He understood that these individuals were merely pandering to him, seeking to curry favor. He had witnessed such scenes too many times and recognized these ingratiating words as mere pleasantries, not to be taken seriously. As the clinking of glasses intensified, the atmosphere at the dining table became increasingly animated. Principal Chun introduced a dean to Karina, who was the head of her department. The dean assured her that she could approach him with any concerns. The school leaders present were seasoned veterans. While they may not excel in other academic matters, they were well-versed in the nuances of dining culture. With their presence, the ambience could hardly cool, especially with their eagerness to befriend Wang Yu. Wang Yu navigated the interactions with these seasoned tacticians with ease, gracefully accepting their toasts. Karina sat quietly to the side, listening to the grandiose conversations, feeling a twinge of discomfort. She recalled a time not long ago when she was merely an inconspicuous flower at school, with the leaders looking down upon students like her with disdain. Yet now, due to Wang Yu's stature and the donation, their attitudes had undergone a dramatic transformation, which struck her as profoundly ironic. The banquet continued with the guests still surrounding Wang Yu, showering him with compliments. Karina had indulged in some drinks herself. The meal lasted 2.5 hours before concluding. Aside from Wang Yu, the others had overindulged. Principal Chun could hardly articulate his words, mumbling incoherently. After bidding farewell to the group, Wang Yu escorted Karina back to her dormitory. He then made his way to the parking area and sent a message to Ren Ningxiang. The sweltering summer had students retreating to their dorms to escape the heat, granting Wang Yu a moment of respite. Not long after, Wang Yu caught sight of Ren Ningxiang hurrying towards him. Upon noticing Wang Yu, Ren Ningxiang's eyes sparkled with delight, prompting her to quicken her pace. The sound of her stiletto heels echoing distinctly in the empty campus. Why the rush? Wang Yu's lips curled into a warm smile. Isn't it just to avoid keeping you waiting too long? Ren Ningxiang replied, brushing her wind-tousled hair, the tips still fragrant with a hint of perfume. She observed a few stains of wine on Wang Yu's attire, her expression dimming slightly. Yet she merely inquired, was the dinner lively? Rather dull, filled with mere pleasantries. He responded, handing her the keys. As a significant figure at the dinner table, it was inevitable that he would be toasted. But getting him intoxicated was a different matter altogether. If not for the concern of a police check for drunk driving, he could have driven himself. Fei Ningxiang nodded, accepting the keys without further probing, and took her seat in the driver's seat of the Bugatti Chiron, a vehicle worth over 70 million. Though she possessed a driving license, this was her first time behind the wheel of such a high-end luxury car. Once seated, she gazed at the intricate dashboard, feeling somewhat dazed. After pressing the brake and igniting the engine, Wang Yu leaned closer, the scent of alcohol wafting from him as his long, slender fingers pointed to the left side of the dashboard. His hand rested over hers on the steering wheel, gently adjusting her grip. The steering is more responsive than a regular car. A half turn is sufficient. Ren Ningxiang's throat tightened. Her hands fumbled in a flurry of apprehension. I feel a bit anxious, she lamented. Should we perhaps consider a chauffeur? This particular vehicle was indeed a Bugatti Chiron, a staggering investment. She had seen the video of Wang Yu purchasing it on the news. If she were to damage such an exquisite automobile, not only would the repair costs be exorbitant, but Wang Yu would surely be distressed. What is there to be nervous about? It's just a car, Wang Yu reassured her with a smile. Drive with confidence. I'll keep an eye on everything, it's all right. But if I were to scratch it, you wouldn't be upset, would you? No matter how expensive. It's merely 4 wheels. To me, they're all the same. And should an accident occur, I'll simply gift you this car. Ren Ningxiang couldn't help but roll her eyes. Is 70 million car just like that? Do you think we are at a market buying vegetables? A fleeting thought crossed her mind to nudge the car beside hers, but it remained just that, a thought. Nevertheless, Wang Yu's playful banter eased her tension considerably. Following his guidance, she navigated the vehicle smoothly out of the campus. Though she drove cautiously, Wang Yu found it somewhat amusing. Fortunately, no further incidents transpired along the way, allowing Ren Ningxiang to gradually relax. Soon, they arrived at Zhongliang Haijinghua. After parking, she exhaled deeply, feeling a slight fatigue in her limbs. Upon reaching the Tianmu Palace with Wang Yu, she grabbed a chilled fruit drink, which rejuvenated her spirits. Wang Yu, please don't make me drive again next time. It terrified me, Ren Ningxiang exclaimed, her bright eyes shimmering, tiny beads of sweat from her anxiety glistening on her eyelashes under the light. She reclined on the genuine leather sofa, her long, slender legs casually intertwined, the pink slippers swaying gently with her movements. As I turned a corner moments ago, I felt my hands nearly stiffen. Wang Yu casually unbuttoned the top 2 buttons of his shirt, revealing his delicate collarbone, and leaned against the bar to pour 2 glasses of whiskey. He raised an eyebrow at her. Now do you understand the thrill of driving a top-tier supercar? Don't flatter me. I felt like I was piloting a fighter jet the entire time. Let's not talk about cars. With such a beautiful girlfriend lying before you, what else is there to discuss? Have you lost all charm with your precious wife? Hey, Ningxiang Povtia Teeks, finding her eyes, playful and mischievous, twinkled, and then she broke into a cheeky smile, prepared to face the judgment of a lovely maiden. Without waiting for Wang Yu to respond, Ren Ningxiang stood up, tiptoed, and planted a flurry of kisses on his face. After an extended moment, she finally released him, her lips leaving a trail of lipstick marks on his skin, and she beamed with satisfaction. Gazing up at Wang Yu, her eyes sparkled with his reflection. Her life had transformed because of him. He was like a beam of light illuminating her existence, filling her world with brilliance. Wang Yu looked at the radiant Ren Ningxiang before him, a smile unconsciously curving his lips as he tucked a stray lock of hair behind her ear. So, have I been thoroughly judged by this lovely maiden? He glanced down at the chaotic lipstick marks on his shirt collar and cheek, his eyes brimming with indulgence. Ren Ningxiang tilted her head, admiring his handsome visage, and suddenly tugged at his loosened tie, pulling him towards the sofa. Wang Yu complied and sat down, instinctively wrapping his arm around her waist. Ren Ningxiang gasped as she tumbled into his embrace, their noses nearly touching, an ambiguous atmosphere enveloping the intimate space. Wang Yu, do you know? Ren Ningxiang's voice softened as she traced the contours of his features with her fingers. I once believed life was merely a series of monotonous routines. Work, marriage, day in and day out, until I met you. Her voice dwindled, her fingers resting on his brow. You were like an unexpected torrential downpour, drenching my mundane life, yet revealing a rainbow. Wang Yu felt a stir in his heart as he grasped her wandering hand and placed a gentle kiss in her palm. Then I must express my gratitude for this storm that led me to the most extraordinary rainbow. He lowered his head, his forehead resting against hers. From now on, whether it's sunny or rainy, let me accompany you. Chapter 231. Neither an internet celebrity nor a star, Ren Ningxiang's eyes suddenly warmed with emotion as she wrapped her arms around his neck, burying her face in his embrace. Here, she found a familiar scent and the reassuring rhythm of Wang Yu's strong heartbeat, which inexplicably calmed her. We agreed not to have any regrets, she murmured, her voice tinged with nasality. If one day you dare to abandon me, I shall dismantle your 70 million yuan car and sell it for parts. Wang Yu chuckled at her words, tightening his embrace around her. Then I must keep a close watch on you, for when my exclusive driver gets riled up, even a supercar could be taken apart. He leaned down, placing a tender kiss on her face. Husband, Ren Ningxiang smiled. What is it? I have recently acquired a new set of gaming combos from the land of the rising sun. Would you care to give it a try? Ren Ningxiang, her cheeks flushed with shyness, whispered softly. Upon hearing this, Wang Yu promptly replied, I must see how well you have learned and whether you have grasped the essence of the game. Then why are you not taking action? Ren Ningxiang's head lowered even further. Wang Yu chuckled lightly, lifting Ren Ningxiang into his arms as he made his way toward the bedroom. After a grueling battle of offense and defense, Ren Ningxiang, drenched in sweat, fell asleep in Wang Yu's embrace. In the face of Wang Yu's extraordinary physical prowess, it was evident that very few women could withstand his superhuman presence. Wang Yu, cradling Ren Ningxiang, too succumbed to a deep slumber. The following day, as Wang Yu was escorting Ren Ningxiang back to school, he unexpectedly received a phone call from Wang Xikong. Observing the sparse traffic outside the Cullinan, he answered the call. What is the matter, old Wang? Are you aware that something major has transpired? Wang Xikong's voice brimmed with excitement. Has the sky fallen? Wang Yu jested casually. What do you mean the sky has fallen? Haven't you seen the news? Wang Xikong responded, somewhat perplexed. Wang Yu sighed. I've been so busy that I barely have time to glance at the news. Well, it's about Yang Mi. She has gotten a divorce. And what of it? Wang Yu replied nonchalantly. His indifferent reaction left Wang Xikong momentarily speechless. Yang Mi has divorced. Wang Xikong finally managed to articulate. Do you not have any reaction to this? What reaction should I have? It's not as if I am the one divorcing Yang Mi. Wang Yu retorted irritably. You wouldn't have called just for this, would you? Why are you so fixated on a female celebrity? Wang Yu was already aware that Yang Mi would be divorcing during this period. Thus, he felt no surprise at Wang Xisong's news. Nor did he harbor any particular feelings for Yang Mi, making him disinterested in Wang Xisong's fervor. But she is a major star, Wang Yu. Aren't you even a little bit intrigued? Wang Xikong pressed on. Old Wang, logically speaking, you are not lacking in female admirers. Why the obsession with Yang Mi? Wang Yu shook his head, exasperated. Wang Xikong was notoriously fond of Yang Mi, yet in Wang Yu's previous life, even after Yang Mi's divorce, no rumors had circulated about her and Wang Xikong, clearly indicating she had not offered him any opportunity. It is perfectly normal for me to like Yang Mi. I grew up watching her on television, Wang Xikong exclaimed. You, being such a superficial man, would not comprehend this. Wang Yu raised an eyebrow. A playful smirk gracing his lips. Grew up watching her on television? Are you certain it wasn't her captivating appearance that captivated you? Speaking of which, after pursuing her for so many years, she hasn't even acknowledged you on Weibo. Don't you feel defeated? Wang Xisong's voice rose a notch. This is called perseverance. What do you know? Besides, she is just divorced. She is in an emotional void, and I am the one who will seize the opportunity. If you find joy in it, then so be it, Wang Yu replied indifferently. Wang Yu, are you truly not the slightest bit interested in Yang Mi? Wang Xikong questioned, his confusion evident. I initially thought your tastes aligned with mine, but now it seems I am the one who holds the advantage. Your taste appears quite specific, favoring either internet celebrities or stars. Wang Yu scoffed softly, you're just bitter because you can't have the grapes. The roar of a sports car engine erupted from Wang Xisong's end, causing the phone receiver to buzz incessantly. I refuse to believe that with my concern. I can't warm her heart. Over the years, Yang Mi has faced considerable challenges, single-handedly managing the wreckage of the company, while her unreliable husband cavorted with another actress. Wang Xisong sighed. Now, with the rumors swirling around Yang Mi, her husband doesn't even dare to utter a word, and now he wants a divorce. Showing no sense of responsibility, it breaks my heart. Wang Xisong's words brimmed with sympathy for Yang Mi. Wang Yu internally criticized the sincerity of Wang Xisong's sentiments, noting that in the realm of infatuation, he was quite the sensational figure. Sympathy? A cryptic smile graced Wang Yu's lips as she retorted, why don't you spare some sympathy for yourself? Within 3 hours of her announcing the divorce, you flooded social media with 20 posts, making it more festive than the new year. That's what you call genuine feeling. Have you seen the online comments disparaging her, accusing her of climbing the social ladder through men and cheating during her marriage? He abruptly fell silent, taking a moment before muttering, clearly, she is the one who was betrayed. So, are you preparing to be her gallant protector? Wang Yu inquired with a smile. I'm powerless despite my intentions. Her company is facing backlash from shareholders over this incident. They reportedly seized this opportunity to try and snatch away Yang Mi's shares. Wang Xisong lamented. You aren't contemplating pouring money just to elicit a smile from her, are you? Wang Yu casually asked. Wang Xisong immediately grew anxious. You can't possibly think I'm some lovesick fool. While I truly admire Yang Mi, I'm not so blinded by affection. The shareholders are resolute in wanting to acquire her shares, and it's quite a troublesome situation. However, this isn't a favorable opportunity. If you could assist Yang Mi in dealing with these individuals and reclaiming her shares, it would be quite a profit. What is the purpose of your call? Wang Yu suddenly burst into mocking laughter. No wonder Wang Xisong was so eager. It seems someone had sent him to seek help from Wang Yu. Wang Xikong, unfazed, replied, all right, since you've guessed it, I'll be straightforward. Yang Mi is struggling. The impact of the divorce has been severe for her. Just when the company was stabilizing, this incident occurred. The entertainment industry is particularly sensitive to such matters. Being stabbed in the back by her ex-husband while being bullied by shareholders within the company is unbearable for her. She cannot bear the thought of relinquishing her shares to them and leaving Jiaxing in disgrace. Wang Xisong explained, that's why Yang Mi has come to me, seeking my assistance. But as you know, I'm financially strapped. I'm practically broke. If it were millions, that might be feasible, but I don't have billions. I just tried reaching out to that scoundrel Qin Fun, who insists he prefers younger women over older ones. Thus, I ended up calling you, if you're interested. Perhaps you could lend a hand to Yang Mi, Chapter 232. A desperate fool setting aside my feelings for Yang Mi. Her exceptional media company, Jiaxing Media, is indeed a worthwhile investment. Seizing this opportunity to acquire shares from those shareholders could yield substantial returns. Wang Xikong continued, of course. If Yang Mi were to alter her perception of me due to my assistance, who knows, I might even experience a moment of intimacy. Wang Youfu sighed, a hint of exasperation evident in his voice. You are truly beyond redemption, willing to go to such lengths for a woman. If it were anyone else, It might be understandable. It was surprising that Wang Xikong, a notorious playboy, could exhibit such romantic inclinations. You don't comprehend. This is what love is, Wang Xikong chuckled. Even if Yang Mi has been divorced, I have no qualms. What a hopeless romantic, Wang Youfu retorted. This is genuine affection. How can you label it as mere flattery? Being kind to a woman without any response would be flattery. However, Mimi has responded to my messages. Wang Xikong hastily defended himself. Wang Youfu nearly laughed. Merely responding to a few messages doesn't absolve you. That is quite a ludicrous assertion. Wang Youfu, seldom engaging in such trivial banter, directly addressed his phone. All right, I'll give you some leeway. Arrange a time to meet. Truly, you are a remarkable friend, Wang Xikong replied with evident excitement. I will contact Yang Mi shortly. I believe she's quite anxious as well. I am already on the highway back to Shanghai. Perhaps I will arrive in time for dinner. Suddenly, as if recalling something, he added, currently, a video of Yang Mi intoxicated is circulating wildly online. Her company has issued a statement, and even the police have been unable to contain it. I have scrutinized each frame, watching it 9 times just to gather evidence for her defense. I can assure you, the woman in the video is not Yang Mi. Even if she is not Yang Mi, you need not watch it so many times, Wang Youfu remarked, somewhat exasperated. Not good. Yang Mi just messaged me, stating that the shareholders are pressuring her to convene an emergency board meeting to hold her accountable for the negative public sentiment. This cannot happen. Wang Youfu furrowed his brow and said, if they hold the board meeting now, it will surely result in a forced transfer of shares. Contact her immediately and advise her to postpone the meeting citing health issues. We must buy some time. Understood, Wang Xikong said before hanging up the phone. After the call, a contemplative expression crossed Wang Youfu's face. Jiaxing Media is quite promising. Entering the market at this juncture is bound to be profitable. With Yang Mi and the company's remarkable potential, as long as they remain unscathed, it is a veritable cash cow. Yang Mi's shareholding is not substantial. Why not eliminate the other shareholders? He aspired to gain complete control over Jiaxing Media. Upon concluding his thoughts, he took out his phone and opened a news app, revealing a slew of articles regarding Yang Mi's divorce. The headlines were sensational. Infidelity during marriage. Walking away with nothing. These are the trending topics fervently reported by major media outlets. The comment section was a chaotic mix of orchestrated narratives and vitriolic remarks from misinformed netizens. The details of Yang Mi and those close to her have been thoroughly exposed, and she was subjected to relentless scrutiny. The extent of Yang Mi's online presence was nothing short of staggering. She was undoubtedly the most popular female celebrity of 2018. Wang Yu casually glanced through the news before exiting. He held little interest in such attention-seeking articles. He then opened his Feixin Moments. Besides family, his male friends were just a few, including Wang Xikong, while the rest were women, or rather, the women in his vicinity. Essentially, his contacts were predominantly female. Upon entering Moments, he noticed Wang Xikong had posted an update, rushing to the Magic City, accompanied by a photo of himself speeding along the highway in a Ferrari. No saving him. Wang Yu shook his head, silently giving a thumbs up. Suddenly, a message from Yu Meng popped up. Wang Yu, brother, are you free right now? Curious. Wang Yu opened the message and found a photo of Yu Meng and Jean Kuer at Disneyland. In the picture, both were radiant with joy in front of the Disney castle, holding cartoon-themed ice creams. Yu Meng was dressed as Snow White, her fluffy red and blue gown making her look enchanting. The bright red, square-collared velvet top highlighted her delicate collarbones, while the blue satin skirt, adorned with white pearls, swayed gracefully with her movements. She wore the iconic red velvet bow headband, her black hair cascading down her shoulders with a pale yellow ribbon around her neck, and white Mary Jane shoes paired with nude stockings. She appeared pure and sweet, as if she had stepped straight out of a fairy tale. In stark contrast, Jean Kuer exuded a seductive charm in her queenly attire. The black, form-fitting leather dress accentuated her alluring curves, with a slit that nearly reached her thigh. Her long, slender legs were on full display. She donned black velvet gloves and a crown adorned with black gemstones, her makeup exquisite and striking, with slightly curled red lips and a captivating gaze. Every gesture exuded the enchanting allure of a mature woman, standing before the Disney castle. The two presented a striking juxtaposition, one innocent, the other alluring, a dream for countless men. Wang Yu felt a rush of excitement. It had been a long time since he last saw them after inviting them to the central building for a live broadcast. Although he had no intention of claiming either as his own, he yearned for some intimate interaction. The stark contrast between the two women left a profound impression on him. Yu Ming, with her pure appearance, had a surprisingly different side at home, while Jean Kerr, with her fiery exterior, was surprisingly bashful. Are you free? What's up? Wang Yu replied. Yu Ming's swift response was accompanied by a flurry of animated emojis. We're live streaming at Disneyland. Wang Yu, brother, want to join us? There's a fireworks show tonight. Sure, I'll be there shortly. Seeing Wang Yu's reply, Yu Ming was overjoyed. Let us find a place to eat first. It's almost noon. She then sent an eager, cute emoji. Send me the address, Wang Yu smiled. Soon, Yu Ming sent over an address. Brother Wang Yu, we are waiting for you. If you're hungry, you may eat first. At that moment, he wasn't particularly famished, yet if it were Yu Ming and Jean Kerr, he could manage to nibble a bit. After sending the message, Wang Yu set his phone aside and restarted the car, steering towards Disney. Both Jean Kerr and Yu Ming possessed figures and appearances akin to goddesses. Although they may fall short compared to the top-tier goddess, Ren Ning Xuang, they compensated for it in numbers. Furthermore, as streamers, they held a unique allure in Wang Yu's eyes, akin to an evident halo. Tired of the mundane home-cooked meals, a change in flavors would be delightful. He could only blame his robust physique for his inability to be satisfied by ordinary dishes any longer. Chapter 233. Such is the fate of Fame. Wang Yu maneuvered through the traffic in his car. The Rolls-Royce Cullinan, a luxury vehicle worth over 10 million, was a rarity in the bustling metropolis, causing other cars to steer clear, wary of potential scrapes. After approximately 20 minutes, Wang Yu drove into Disney, purchasing a ticket for 888 yuan. With a serene expression, he strolled inside, occasionally recognized by tourists who pulled out their phones to capture the moment. Though he paid little mind to them, before long, he arrived at a Western restaurant. As he stepped inside, the waitress, ready to greet him, was taken aback upon recognizing Wang Yu, her expression transforming into one of astonishment. She instantly recognized him as the viral sensation currently dubbed the nation's husband, a high-profile figure known for his striking wealth and charm, with friends like Wang Xizong and Qin Fun. Good day, Mr. Wang. Are you dining alone? She inquired, her smile radiant and her gaze warm. My friends are already waiting for me in the private room, Wang Yu replied with a friendly smile, checking his phone for the room number sent by Yu Ming before relaying it to the waitress. Certainly, Mr. Wang. I shall escort you there, she said, her demeanor slightly deflated, yet maintaining her cheerful expression as she gestured for him to follow. The restaurant was rather full, despite being the off-peak season, with nearly every table occupied. Upon recognizing Wang Yu, patrons gasped in excitement and took out their phones for photographs, yet they maintained a respectful distance, refraining from crowding around him. Wang Yu, undeterred, smiled at the cameras. Such is the life of Fame. Wherever he goes, he draws attention. Like Wang Xizong, any minor incident involving him quickly finds its way online. However, Wang Yu was not concerned about negative news being circulated about him. Any unfavorable information would be swiftly suppressed. As long as it was a personal matter, he was not worried. If it involved organized groups or ulterior motives, it wouldn't take an hour before authorities would intervene. Given Wang Yu's status, it was only natural for him to have certain protections in place. Wang Yu soon arrived at the private room, pushing open the door and stepping inside. Upon the entrance of Wang Yu, Yu Ming and Jean Kerr rose to greet him with sweet smiles, exclaiming, Brother Wang Yu, you have arrived. Indeed, Brother Wang Yu, we have missed you dearly. This sentiment was expressed by Yu Ming, while Jean Kerr maintained a more reserved demeanor. Did I not mention that you should start eating if you are hungry? Why wait for me? Jean Kerr moved aside to create a space between them for Wang Yu to sit down. Wang Yu smiled and remarked, why the formality? Have we grown distant after just a few days apart? After all, we have shared a bed in battle. He had no inclination to put on airs before them. What would you like to eat, Brother Wang Yu? Yu Ming inquired, nodding her head and sweetly adding, please, order anything. Tonight, I shall treat you. Although Wang Yu had previously messaged them to begin dining without him, they ultimately decided to wait for his arrival before ordering. Wang Yu took the menu and glanced at Yu Ming. Jean Kerr, with a smile, commented, Brother Wang Yu, you have no idea. Yu Ming is usually quite stingy. It's only because you are here that she is willing to treat. Kerr, what are you saying? Yu Ming protested, stomping her foot and reaching out to swat Jean Kerr. With a playful grin, Jean Kerr replied, all right, I shall refrain from further comment. Wang Yu chuckled softly at their playful banter. As the two girls frolicked beside him, Yu Ming mischievously tugged at Jean Kerr's clothing, revealing her own shoulder. Ah, Yu Ming, what are you doing? Wang Yu, just lifting his teacup, nearly spilled the hot tea upon catching sight of the unexpected display. Yu Ming tilted her head and winked at him, seemingly unfazed by her exposure. Jean Kerr, blushing, attempted to pull her garment back, but Yu Ming held fast. Who told you to speak so recklessly? Now we're even. Upon noticing Wang Yu's meaningful gaze, both girls felt their cheeks flush. As close friends, they often engaged in playful antics at home and discussed various topics, some of an intimate nature. However, displaying such behavior in front of Wang Yu, even Yu Meng, who was typically bold, felt a sense of embarrassment. Jean Kuer, her face as red as a ripe apple, quietly adjusted her clothing, casting a furtive glance at Wang Yu before shooting an annoyed look at Yu Meng. This little vixen, so eager to present herself to Wang Yu. How frustrating. Wang Yu merely smiled, saying nothing. The scene before him was indeed delightful, especially with Yu Meng and Jean Kuer adorned in their elegant attire. Soon, they summoned the waiter to place their orders. In no time, dishes began to arrive at their table. I am famished. I have been broadcasting since morning without so much as a sip of water, Yu Meng exclaimed, nearly drooling. Brother Wang Yu, I shall not hold back. Wang Yu nodded in agreement and began to eat. Jean Kuer, still blushing from the earlier exchange, also felt the pangs of hunger after a long morning of broadcasting and soon joined in, eating daintily. After a while of dining, Wang Yu raised his glass to clink with theirs, the crisp sound resonating within the private room. Yu Meng tilted her head back and finished her red wine, a single droplet of liquid gracing her lips. Playfully, she pouted at Wang Yu, saying, Brother Wang Yu, I've made a mess here. With a gentle laugh, he leaned in and kissed her softly on the lips. The initial awkwardness between Yu Meng and Wang Yu had faded, and now she boldly provoked him. Her eyelashes fluttered slightly, startled by a sudden kiss, but she soon closed her eyes and wrapped her arms around his neck, responding with fervor. Jean Kuer bit her lower lip, her gaze flitting between the intertwined figures of the two, her cheeks flushing a deep crimson that spread from her ears down to her neck. Is it clean now? Wang Yu teased, his fingers grazing Yu Meng's cheek as he released her. Yu Meng's face was flushed, yet she mischievously raised an eyebrow at Jean Kuer, wearing a triumphant smile. You little vixen, Jean Kuer muttered under her breath, taking a hefty bite of steak. What is the matter? Are you feeling jealous, Kuer? Wang Yu inquired with a smile. Jean Kuer shook her head repeatedly, feigning indifference. Yu Meng leaned closer, wrapping an arm around Jean Kuer's shoulders, the aroma of red wine mingling with her sweet fragrance. Dear sister, don't be angry. Next time at LL be your turn. Caught between the two, Jean Kuer felt a mix of shyness and annoyance. I'm not talking to you too. As the meal drew to a close, Yu Meng leaned her head against Wang Yu's shoulder, her fingers absently tracing circles on his chest. After a moment's hesitation, Jean Kuer gently leaned in as well. Her head felt a bit light. Wang Yu, unbothered by anything else, stuffed most of the food from the table into his mouth. He had no habit of letting women pay the bill. Summoning the waiter, the total came to 9,800 yuan. Chapter 234. Too much fun stepping out of the restaurant. The two women followed Wang Yu to his Cullinan. Get in, Wang Yu said with a smile, opening the car door. Jean Kuer and Yu Meng exchanged a glance, neither refusing, though their cheeks grew even rosier. They took their seats in the back row, one after the other. On the streets outside Disney, the imposing presence of the Cullinan naturally drew attention. When onlookers saw Wang Yu with two stunning women, countless jaws dropped in astonishment. Goodness, it's Wang Yu. He always has two beautiful girls with him. One nearby man, accompanied by his wife and child, craned his neck, nearly colliding with the guardrail, muttering, these young people know how to enjoy life. Even bolder young men pulled out their phones, pretending to make calls while secretly recording, their voices lowered as they live-streamed to friends. Dude, look. Wang Yu is driving a Rolls-Royce Cullinan with two gorgeous women. I think that Yu Meng and Jean Kuer from Douyin. If I could have this treatment, I'd gladly give up 10 years of my life. His companions on the other end of the line cheered him on, urging him to get closer for a better view. This exaggerated scene went largely unnoticed by others, as most were engrossed in taking photos or videos, all buzzing with excitement. Yu Meng and Jean Kuer were already renowned internet celebrities, known to many across the country, not to mention the presence of Wang Yu, the national darling. As Wang Yu settled into the car, he cast a sidelong glance at the two rather bashful individuals beside him, then started the engine and swiftly departed from Disneyland. Before long, they arrived at Wang Yu's residence, the Tianmu Palace. Though it was not their first visit, Yu Meng and Jean Kuer were still awestruck by the opulence of the place. Given their earnings, purchasing a home in the bustling metropolis was relatively straightforward. However, acquiring a luxurious estate like Wang Yu's was a different matter altogether. As streamers on Douyin, their income surpassed that of many in the world, naturally fueling their desire for a better lifestyle. They had little interest in ordinary accommodations, yet the extravagant ones remained beyond their reach. Jean Kuer and Yu Meng shared a close bond, having chosen to rent a place together in a desirable district of the city to meet their living needs. Yet it paled in comparison to the grandeur of Tiamu Palace. Sitting on the sofa, Wang Yu regarded the two women with a calm demeanor, and an uncanny atmosphere began to envelop the room. Jin Ku and Yu Meng exchanged glances, and Yu Meng, her eyes darting, suggested, "Well, after sweating so much today, I think I'll take a shower first." "Yu Meng, let us go together." Jin Ku, feeling increasingly bashful in Wang Yu's presence, hurriedly followed her. Given their familiarity with Wang Yu, they understood the implications of this visit, yet a sense of shyness lingered. Before long, after bathing and wrapped in bathrobes, Jin Ku and Yu Meng returned to the living area, ready to attend to Wang Yu once more as he entered the bathroom. After some playful banter, a refreshed Wang Yu emerged, while the two women continued their grooming rituals. Back in the bedroom, Wang Yu glanced at his phone, noting that it was already 5 in the evening. His friend Wang Sitsong had sent several messages, indicating he had arrived. However, Wang Yu had been preoccupied and unable to respond. Rising to wash his hair and change clothes, he descended to the garage, got into his beloved car, Venom, and drove towards Wang Sitsong's location. Not far from Lujiazui, Wang Yu spotted Wang Sitsong and his bodyguard from a distance. After parking, he stepped out. "Hey, what is going on? You didn't reply to my messages, and now you're ignoring my calls too?" Wang Sitsong fumed, pointing an accusatory finger at Wang Yu. "I've already had several cups of coffee. If I didn't trust you as a brother, I would have gone home long ago." It was evident that Wang Sitsong owned a property in the metropolis, having come directly from the highway to meet Wang Yu. Maintaining his composure, Wang Yu felt no embarrassment. Brothers are meant to be taken advantage of, he thought, knowing that in critical moments, it was hard to prioritize anything else. It was merely a consequence of his exceptionally robust physique. It wasn't something that could be resolved in a short span. Even though he had been quite active during this period, the existence of his solidified attributes ensured that he remained in peak condition. Restraint is a complete illusion. Damn! Wang Sicong could tell from the look on his face that he was struggling to contain himself. After spending so much time with Wang Yu, he certainly knew his temperament. It was evident that he had been playing cards with that woman again. Clenching his teeth tightly, he finally managed to utter a few words. "Let us see how you fare after 30. Even if it's 80, I'll still be just as formidable." Wang Yu raised an eyebrow and casually draped his arm over Wang Sicong's shoulder. Chapter 235. Changing girlfriends is quicker than changing cars. Let us go. Wang Yu cast a glance at Wang Sicong as they headed towards the car. The streets were bustling with pedestrians, and in that brief moment, a considerable number of people had already noticed them. Wang Yu and Wang Sicong were already well-known figures, the son of the richest man and a mysterious second-generation wealthy individual. Along with a newly minted national heartthrob, Wang Yu, drawing attention was almost inevitable, especially with 2 supercars worth over 100 million parked nearby, which only heightened the allure. Some onlookers had begun to take pictures, and the crowd around them continued to swell. Wang Yu tossed the car keys to his bodyguard and settled into the passenger seat of Wang Sicong's Bugatti. "Young master, what is this?" the bodyguard inquired. "You drive behind us. I'll ride in your boss's car," Wang Yu replied nonchalantly, fastening his seatbelt. "Seriously, are you even human?" Wang Sicong was taken aback. "I waited for you inside for ages, and this is how you repay me? You want me to be the driver? Are we still brothers?" "Enough of the nonsense," Wang Yu said coolly. "I wouldn't trust anyone else with your car if I didn't consider you a brother. Just get in. I've been driving for hours, and I'm exhausted. Do you have any humanity left?" Wang Sicong reluctantly climbed into the car. He claimed he had been waiting, but in reality, he had only driven for a short while. The bodyguard had handled the rest of the journey. After sitting for so long, he was indeed quite fatigued. "Who told you to be such a sycophant?" Wang Yu remarked, scrolling through Douyin on his phone without looking up. Wang Sicong opened his mouth to retort, but found himself at a loss for words, disheartened as he fastened his seatbelt and started the engine, driving off into the distance. Inside the Bugatti, Wang Sicong said, "Yang Mi just called me. She mentioned that the shareholders are stirring up trouble, and she might not be able to stall for much longer." Wang Yu nodded thoughtfully. It was evident that Yang Mi was in a precarious situation. If it were an average man facing such circumstances, he would likely be at a loss for how to cope, especially considering she was a woman. Yang Mi often appeared carefree and approachable, easily engaging with anyone. However, this did not imply that she was naive. If she were truly naive, she would not have risen to become a top-tier star in the entertainment industry, let alone a business owner. Currently, Yang Mi's romantic life was in disarray, and her career had also suffered a significant blow. In her previous life, she had navigated through such challenges, but ultimately, in 2023, she withdrew from Jiaxing and established her own personal studio. In a previous life, how did Yang Mi navigate through this crisis? It can only be said that Wang Xikong, this devoted admirer, played a significant role. Wang Yu glanced at him, silently nodding in acknowledgement. The anticipation was palpable among those who were not present. Yang Mi's celebrity status, coupled with her stunning physique and beauty, naturally stirred Wang Xikong's admiration. It is a common trait among men to desire what they cannot possess. If Wang Xikong truly harbored feelings for Yang Mi, he would not have pursued numerous internet celebrity girlfriends or engaged with so many romantic partners. Changing girlfriends was swifter for him than switching cars. One might say that to be devoted to one is to be a devoted admirer, but to be enamored with 100 women elevates one to the status of a warrior. This time, Wang Xikong earnestly implored Wang Yu to assist Yang Mi. Part of him wished for Wang Yu's help for Yang Mi, as he felt sympathy for her current predicament. The other part recognized that acquiring shares in Jiaxing could yield a substantial profit. After all, business was of utmost importance. As for Yang Mi, she was merely an ancillary consideration. Where shall we meet her? Wang Yu inquired, glancing at the traffic conditions. How about a private location? Wang Xikong suggested. Wang Yu shook his head, stating, various media outlets are keeping a close watch on Yang Mi. Any location poses a risk. We should go directly to your home. That works, Wang Xikong affirmed. I'll send a message to Mimi. She has no idea how many paparazzi are tailing her. Escaping might be quite the challenge. If anyone captures footage of Yang Mi visiting us, the internet will undoubtedly explode. Going to my house is indeed a viable option. Gubei No. 1, as a paragon of luxury residences in the bustling metropolis, boasts rare urban core resources, exceptional product quality, and unparalleled opulence, firmly establishing its position within the upper echelons of the luxury housing market. Adjacent to a golf course, bordered by Hongshu Road to the west, the natural waterways of Aotong Port to the east, and Red Pine East Road to the north, it is enveloped by water on 3 sides and greenery on 1. The estate comprises both apartments and villas, of which Wang Xikong naturally acquired a villa. His standalone villa, sprawling over 1,853 square meters, features 3 above-ground levels and 2 below, complete with a grand living room, a private swimming pool, and a rooftop garden among other amenities. The price is exorbitantly high, with the sole regret being the lack of a breathtaking night view akin to that of the Tianmu Palace. Interestingly enough, there is also a villa belonging to Wang Yu, a gift from Wang Zhangwo during his last visit. Wang Xikong parked his car in the underground garage and, after securing it, ascended the elevator with Wang Yu. Although he seldom resided here, the home remained impeccably clean, as the property management ensured regular maintenance, allowing for immediate occupancy. Wang Yu settled onto the sofa, surveying his surroundings. Indeed, there is a discernible difference between a villa and a spacious flat. Having lived daily in the Tianmu Palace, he found himself less enamored with high-rise living. Make yourself at home. I shall take a shower first, Wang Xikong said, not bothering to look back as he made his way upstairs. Preparing to refresh himself and perfect his hairstyle, eager to make a splendid impression on Yang Mi when she arrived. After all, Wang Xikong considered himself quite the handsome gentleman. Wang Xikong stepped into the master suite on the 2nd floor, clad in Italian handcrafted leather sandals. As he entered, the bathroom lights illuminated automatically, casting a warm amber glow upon the stone walls. He casually turned on the contemporary faucet, and a cascade of water at a constant temperature of 42 degrees poured down from the ceiling and rain shower head, the aroma of cedar essential oil gradually permeating the steam. Wang Xikong hummed a cheerful tune, and after a brief moment, he emerged from the bathroom and descended the stairs. However, his pleasant mood dissipated instantly upon seeing Wang Yu. Damn, no matter how he tried to groom himself, he could not compare to Wang Yu. How could this guy be so stunning? His looks were beyond extraordinary, akin to having a built-in 10-level beauty filter in real life. He was young, taller, and had a chiseled abdomen. Wang Xizong's face darkened as he glanced at his own flabby stomach and somewhat flaccid waist. Clearly, in the presence of Wang Yu, the persona of a handsome man was utterly untenable. He was the flower, while he became mere foliage. Damn, I truly wonder if this kid has some technological enhancement. How could he be so remarkable? It's all natural, don't doubt it, Wang Yu replied with an indifferent expression. He then rose and walked over to a nearby wine cabinet, crafted from exquisite black walnut, housing an array of expensive red wines. His gaze flitted over the Lafite and Latour before settling on a bottle of Domaine de la Roman y Conti Grand Cru. This wine was not only pricey but also produced in limited quantities. Having money did not guarantee one could acquire it. Wang Yu's eyes sparkled as he took it out and poured himself a glass. Chapter 236. Everyone comes to bully me. Wang Sikong felt a pang of sympathy and quickly poured himself a glass from the bottle. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Wang Sikong approached the display screen and promptly pressed the unlock button. Yang Mi had arrived. Wang Yu nodded and joined Wang Sikong on the sofa. Before long, the sound of high heels clicking against the marble echoed from the entrance. Yang Mi, draped in a black silk trench coat, made her elegant entrance, her diamond tier mole glimmering in the warm light. She first arched an eyebrow at Wang Sikong, but was quickly captivated by Wang Yu, a smile gracing her lips. Long time no see, young Master Wang. Here I am, a great presence in your midst. Wang Sikong immediately retorted with annoyance. As Yang Mi entered, she cast a sidelong glance at him before fixating on Wang Yu. Even if Wang Yu is slightly more handsome, it shouldn't warrant such attention. Principal, she acknowledged, addressing Wang Sikong, her face perpetually adorned with a smile, seemingly unaffected by the recent events. With an almost imperceptible smile lingering on her lips, she confidently settled beside Wang Yu without waiting for an invitation, casually draping her trench coat over the armrest of the sofa, revealing her ample curves. Her long legs were elegantly elongated, clad in sheer black stockings. Leaning back against the sofa, she sighed, I nearly exhausted myself trying to evade those paparazzi. I find it utterly unbearable to remain at home, as I am under constant surveillance every hour of the day. In order to meet you, I had my assistant drive in circles several times to elude these individuals. Yang Mi, exasperated, waved her hand dismissively. These media outlets are truly insatiable, seemingly with nothing better to do than to shove cameras in my face for a 24-hour live broadcast. Is this not the nature of the media? Every move you make is a boon for their traffic. If they do not pursue you, whom else will they chase? Wang Sikong shook his head while seated across from her, expressing his disdain. How infuriating! Yang Mi huffed, her annoyance palpable. I had managed to keep the divorce under wraps. Yet some meddlesome individual has leaked it. The mere mention of it made her teeth grind with irritation. I was already overwhelmed, and now they are exacerbating the situation. My company is facing troubles as well. It seems you are rather unconcerned about the divorce, Wang Yu observed, gazing at Yang Mi, who appeared unfazed by the matter of parting ways. The issues with the company, however, weighed heavily on his mind. A divorce is simply a divorce. What can he do if I wish to leave? Yang Mi shrugged nonchalantly. A scoundrel without any sense of responsibility is indeed unreliable. What can be done? I cannot possibly let this matter consume my existence. I had thought you would be heartbroken. Wang Sikong, feeling a sense of disinterest, remarked, had I known it would turn out this way, I would not have rushed back. The journey was arduous. Wang Yu cast a glance at him, choosing silence. Such is the nature of a sycophant. I am genuinely heartbroken. I never claimed otherwise. Yang Mi asserted with a serious expression. My company has finally found its footing under my guidance, yet these shareholders are now causing chaos. Is it so easy for a mere starlet to run a company? They are all trying to bully me. Woe is me. Wang Sikong, taken aback, wondered why she had suddenly begun to cry. After a considerable pause, Yang Mi continued, These old-timers wish to seize this opportunity to wrest the company from my grasp. I am quite pitiful. If I were ultimately ousted from the company and left homeless, Wang Xiao, would you take me in? Yang Mi gazed at Wang Yu with feigned vulnerability. My demands are modest. All I ask is for a meal from you. That day shall never come. Upon hearing this, Wang Sikong quickly responded. Even if such a day were to arrive, you're always welcome at my home. My door is open to you at any time. Yang Mi immediately rolled her eyes in a theatrical manner, disdainfully retorting. Who would want to stay at your place, you single, balding, greasy middle-aged man? If I were to live in your house, what would others think of me? I would surely be subjected to ridicule. The smile on Wang Sitsung's face vanished, leaving him puzzled. Was it truly necessary for her to insult him like this? Even if he were not handsome, he hardly qualified as a balding, greasy middle-aged man. Such disdain was unwarranted. As Yang Mi spoke, she turned her body slightly towards Wang Yu, her eyes brimming with playful affection and dependency. At least Wang Xiao appears fresh and clean. If the paparazzi were to discover our association, it would indeed validate my good taste. How many young women across the nation would envy me for capturing the attention of such a handsome man as you? If that day were to come when I reside at your place, would I truly not be a burden to you? Are you certain? Wang Yu lifted his glass, chuckling lightly. If you do not mind, I happen to have a villa. You could tidy up and move in any time. As long as Wang Xiao is willing, anyone can comply. Yang Mi, with a face full of shyness, did not reject Wang Yu's words, nor did she divert the topic. Wang Sitsung sensed something amiss. This was not right. Wasn't he the one who first acquainted himself with Yang Mi? Now, he found himself running around solving problems for her company. hoping she would perceive his sincerity and recognize his goodness, leading her to embrace him willingly, culminating in a romantic relationship. Yet, the current turn of events fell off. Was Yang Mi and Wang Yu engaged in flirtation? He suddenly felt somewhat superfluous. Wait, Yang Mi, please refrain from this. You might frighten Wang Yu away. And then who will invest in your company? Wing Sikong interjected hastily. Wang Yu is still in school, a pure-hearted young man, not suitable for you. Anything you have. Come at me. I will take it on for Wang Yu. He wore an expression of gallant sacrifice, prompting Yang Mi to roll her eyes in exasperation. It was true that Wang Yu was still a student, but to label him as a pure-hearted boy was something she could not agree with. Setting aside the rumors of Wang Yu's past relationships, during their brief encounters at the Jing Tun Capital meeting, Wang Yu had never been at a disadvantage, nearly overwhelming her. A woman in her 30s. If Wang Yu was pure-hearted, then there must be countless good men in Huagua. Externally, he appeared to be a charming young lad, yet underneath, he resembled a wolf preying on innocent sheep. Any girl who believed Wang Xizong's words would only end up being thoroughly taken advantage of by Wang Yu. A man of Wang Yu's background could not possibly be so simple. Even the seemingly unreliable Wang Xizong, when faced with serious matters, revealed a different side. Ordinary investments overwhelmed Yang Mi, as if they were being snatched away. Not to mention the likes of Wang Yu and Wang Xizong, who were heirs of immense wealth. They represented the pinnacle of capital and power in Huagua, particularly Wang Yu, who embodied authority among authorities. Those in power are often cold-hearted and ungrateful. Yang Mi did not naively believe that she could easily manipulate them simply by virtue of her celebrity status and beauty. If Wang Xizong and Wang Yu could be swayed by mere fame and allure, their parents might very well consider whether they should train a younger version of themselves while still youthful. Chapter 237. A mere 30 billion thank you, Wang Xiao, for your assistance. I'm immensely grateful, Yang Mi said, gazing at Wang Yu with sincerity and gratitude in her eyes. Upon hearing this, Wang Xizong's expression fell instantly. Yang Mi truly seemed to hold no appreciation for him at all. What was his motivation for helping her? Wang Xizong stroked his chin, deep in thought. He could not fathom why Yang Mi overlooked him. After all, he was not lacking in merit. It was a small matter. Investing in Jiaxing was indeed a lucrative opportunity. Wang Yu smiled calmly and straightforwardly stated, "Please begin by discussing the current situation your company is facing." Wang Xizong regained his composure, realizing that it was time to focus on the matter at hand. In a previous encounter in the office of Wang Yu, the capital magnate, Yang Mi had gleaned some insights into his character. He was not one to dawdle. His forthrightness came as no surprise to her. After a moment of reflection, Yang Mi nodded and stated, "The current circumstances of the company are quite unfavorable for me. Despite having triumphed in previous dealings with capital, there are still those who remain undeterred, seeking to reclaim control over the company. Presently, these shareholders have united in their efforts to oust me, aiming to acquire my shares. Their collective holdings now surpass mine, forming alliances that have rendered me entirely devoid of influence within the company." Listening intently, Wang Yu's expression gradually turned grave. Surely, their audacity cannot be so great. Who stand behind them? Yang Mi replied, "According to my investigations, several private equity firms and the shadow of Shangshi film industry are backing them." Yang Mi, ever the pragmatist and adept at seizing opportunities, had made a decisive move in 2012 to establish her own studio after her rise to fame. However, the entertainment industry was saturated with studios, and many stars had their own upon reaching stardom. Her studio, akin to others, employed only staff alongside her as the sole female star, lacking any profitable ventures. Unwilling to let her career stagnate, Yang Mi recognized that the personal studio model was not conducive to broader growth. Thus, in 2015, she resolved to dissolve her studio and establish her own company, believing that only by assuming the mantle of business owner could she ascend to the apex of the entertainment hierarchy. Without hesitation, she, along with her agents, Zheng Jia and Zhao Ru, pooled resources amounting to $3 million to create Jiaxing Tianxia Film and Culture Company, Limited. The company's growth hinged on financial backing, prompting her to enter into a wager agreement with Shangshi Film Industry, securing a 300 million yuan investment for its development. The agreement stipulated that Jiaxing Media must achieve a net profit of 3 billion yuan after taxes within 3 years, from 2015 to 2017. Failure to meet this target would compel her to buy back shares from Shangshi Film Industry at a 15 annualized rate, effectively incurring a debt of 300 million yuan plus interest. Under these stringent conditions, if Yang Mi were to falter in fulfilling the wager, She might be relegated to a subordinate role at Shangshi Film Industry for the rest of her life. Ironically, this contract severely impacted her standing within the company, as many believed she had steered it into turbulent waters. As a capital entity, Shangshi Film Industry had no intention of allowing Yang Mi to succeed in the wager. Their investment of $300 million was predicated on acquiring both her company and her persona. As a perennial figure in the entertainment sphere, her presence was synonymous with guaranteed viewership. Consequently, during the wager period, her projects faced both overt and covert suppression, with Shangshi Film Industry actively courting her partners, Zheng Jia and Zhao Ruru, to their faction. This further diminished Yang Mi's voice within the company, rendering many of her proposals ineffective in the boardroom. In the face of self-interest, Zheng Jia and Zhao Ruru, among other shareholders, did not hesitate to side with Yang Mi, resulting in a standoff. Yang Mi, the founder of the company and its prominent star, found herself in the most vulnerable position, gradually losing control and influence over the company. Confronted with immense betting pressures, she transformed into a relentless warrior, undertaking 13 projects within 3 years, including the immensely popular dramas Eternal Love, Ashes of Love, and Dear Translator. Ultimately, her success with Eternal Love propelled Jiaxing Media's net profit to an astonishing 400 million Huaxia coins over 3 years, exceeding the betting targets. This not only averted significant losses from share repurchases, but also substantially increased the company's valuation, soaring from 25 million to 5 billion, securing a new round of investment. However, barely 2 years of tranquility passed before she faced a divorce crisis, greatly impacting the company's stock price. The shareholders seized this as an opportunity to hold Yang Mi accountable, pressuring her to exit the company to restore stock prices to normalcy. Yang Mi was acutely aware that this was merely a pretext. The company was thriving, rendering her presence dispensable, with more than one top-tier star under her name. She understood her precarious position and had no intention of relinquishing her shares easily. Yet, she found herself without other means to appease the shareholders. In this predicament, she saw 2 options: either eliminate the impact of this incident on the stock price or seek assistance from Wang Xizong or Wang Yu. What is the value of their shares? Wang Yu inquired, stroking his chin. Yang Mi calculated momentarily before responding, approximately around 3 billion. This year, the company's market value stands at over 4 billion, significantly up from last year, though the money is not substantial. Wang Yu smiled. Since they wish to marginalize you from Jiaxing, do not blame me for indulging in this sweet cake. I will secure their shares. If one chooses to act, one must do so generously. The entire Jiaxing is what truly interests me, far beyond that mere 3 billion Huaxia coins. Indeed, Wang Xizong interjected. For our firm, Whale Capital, to become a true leader in the entertainment industry, we require a professional company on the surface. Otherwise, we remain reliant on others, which is always inconvenient. His satisfaction with this investment was palpable, not solely because of his aid to Yang Mi, but also because it would solidify Whale Capital's foothold in the entertainment realm, enabling them to handle production and promotion independently. With the current decline in the company's stock price, entering now would yield significant profits once the prices rebound. Wang Xizong had an obsession with making his mark in the entertainment industry, a pursuit he fervently desired. That's wonderful, Yang Mi exclaimed, elated. Initially, her intent in seeking Wang Yu's support was simply to gain his backing. With his endorsement, those individuals would surely think twice before acting against her. She held no high expectations regarding the investment. However, it is evident that Wang Yu intends to acquire the shares of these individuals entirely, which is an exceedingly fortuitous piece of news for Yang Mi. Wang Yu's formidable presence in the entertainment industry has just begun to establish its authority. With his investment, Jiaxing's future development in this realm will face no obstacles. Yang Mi harbors no concerns regarding whether these individuals are willing to sell their stakes. Before Wang Yu, will they dare to hold back? The excitement within Yang Mi intensified as she contemplated the implications of Wang Yu absorbing all these shares, which would undoubtedly position him as the indisputable largest shareholder of Jiaxing Media, alleviating her worries in an instant. Furthermore, with Wang Yu at the helm, Shang Xingyi would no longer dare to make any moves. What was once a deadlock has been entirely resolved by Wang Yu. Moreover, after their previous collaboration, Yang Mi has observed that Wang Yu generally refrains from excessive interference in the projects he invests in, demanding only profitability. As long as it yields returns, he does not meddle in internal management. He entrusts professional matters to professionals. Wang Yu does not engage in arbitrary directives. Thus, besides Wang Yu as the principal shareholder, Yang Mi would hold all the power within Jiaxing Media. There would be no one to scrutinize her decisions, establishing a true monopoly of authority. She could fully dedicate herself to the advancement of her career. Old Wang, do you require additional investment on your side? Wang Yu inquired after taking a sip of his drink. Wang Xikong was bustling about, striving to facilitate this arrangement. Investing in Jiaxing still promised substantial returns. Since Wang Xikong held only a modest stake in Whale Capital, Wang Yu felt inclined to ask, I'll invest 50 million. My own resources are somewhat limited. Wang Xikong replied with a bittersweet smile, shaking his head. Beyond envy, he felt nothing but admiration for Wang Yu. What wealthy heir possesses the liberty to access tens or hundreds of billions at their whim? It is simply absurd. Wang Yu nodded slightly. Very well. I shall personally acquire these shares through the company's account. Agreed, Wang Xikong affirmed. Wang Yu's acquisition of these shares would not alter the company's shareholding proportions, which was precisely why he emphasized his personal investment. Upon witnessing their agreement, Yang Mi felt a wave of relief wash over her. Since matters had been settled, it was time to discuss the shareholders of Jiaxing. Perhaps we should have a leader intervene, Wang Xikong suggested, stroking his chin. These individuals are unlikely to relinquish their shares without substantial persuasion. Given their character, it might be more arduous than slaying them. Yang Mi turned to Wang Yu, seeking his solution to this predicament. Difficult to negotiate? Wang Yu chuckled softly, gazing at Yang Mi contact the company as shareholders and instruct them to come here immediately. He offered no further explanation. Nevertheless, Yang Mi chose to place her trust in Wang Yu. He would not jest about such matters. She then took out her phone and began calling the shareholders one by one. These individuals were initially among her closest companions. However, it was unforeseen that former sisters and current collaborators would unite with vested interests against her. This revelation incited profound anger in Yang Mi. Yet she found herself powerless to change the situation. Now, with Wang Yu offering her a glimmer of hope for a turnaround, she seized it without hesitation. Yang Mi felt no concern about whether these individuals would come to her. They were eager to claim the shares in her possession and would certainly come running. Consequently, after a few phone calls, they all readily agreed to arrive at Gubei No. 1 as swiftly as possible, likely within half an hour. Upon hanging up, Yang Mi turned to Wang Yu and said, Good. Wang Yu nodded in affirmation. With the phone set down, Yang Mi's mood instantly lightened. Regardless of whether Wang Yu could directly acquire these shares, at least these individuals would not dare to confront her, considering Wang Yu and Wang Xitsong's stature. A radiant smile returned to her face as she began to joke and converse with Wang Yu, completely disregarding Wang Xitsong, who lounged on the genuine leather sofa. Tapping his fingers idly against the armrest, his gaze fixed enviously on Wang Yu. He clicked his tongue and, with a teasing tone, remarked, Well, there you go again. Showing off. Every time I see you act so smug, I can't help but wonder why, being from the same Wang family, the disparity is so vast. He exaggeratedly sighed, feigning a heartbroken demeanor, secretly vowing never to include Wang Yu in future encounters with beautiful women. Enough of your prattle. Wang Yu shot him a glance, though a faint smile betrayed his amusement. Yang Mi's eyes sparkled mischievously as she leaned closer, teasingly elongating her words. Principal, your jealousy is utterly transparent. But truly, Wang Xiao's strategical charm certainly makes some people feel quite inadequate. Just think, he executes every task so impeccably. How am I to hold my own in front of beautiful women after this? Wang Xitsong, upon hearing this, widened his eyes in exaggerated disbelief and blinked at Yang Mi with a look of feigned grievance. Yang Mi set her glass down, leaned forward, lightly tapping Wang Yu's shoulder, her eyes twinkling. Wang Xiao, you should spare Xitsong a little dignity. Otherwise, he might very well block you from future gatherings. Suddenly, she leaned in closer to Wang Yu, lowering her voice. I must admit, you do appear quite captivating like this, far superior to those who merely indulge in empty banter. With a playful glance cast at Wang Xitsong, she provoked him further. Wang Xitsong, flustered, jumped to his feet. Yang Mi, that is totally unfair. Time passed swiftly, and soon 3 women arrived outside Wang Xitsong's villa. They were in their 40s or 50s, their figures noticeably plump, yet dressed in revealing and provocative attire that elicited a sense of revulsion. They exchanged glances filled with uncontainable delight. Yang Mi must have summoned us in haste to discuss the transfer of shares. It would have been better if she had come to this decision sooner, instead of delaying until now. Zheng Jia, sporting a short haircut and crimson lips, wore a mocking smile. The 2 women beside her also erupted in derisive laughter, their eyes brimming with smugness. Upon investigation, I discovered this property belonged to Wang Xikong. Could it be that Yang Mi had sought his intervention? Chun Ling adjusted her golden-rimmed glasses, her gaze behind the lenses revealing a calculating demeanor. What of Wang Xikong? Zheng Jia retrieved a cigarette from her elegant handbag, expertly lighting it and exhaling a cloud of smoke. Her father pays no heed to him. What could he possibly do to us? Yang Mi is now, like an ant on a hot pan, completely at our mercy. Indeed, we must ensure she comprehends that opposing us leads to dire consequences. Zhao Ruoreo gently caressed her curling hair, her fingers, adorned with bright red nail polish, swaying lightly. Once we secure her shares, the company will be ours to command. Wang Xizong's influence should not be underestimated, but does he truly believe he can overpower us single-handedly? What a farce! Chunling chuckled disdainfully. After all, he is merely a young man, brimming with vitality. It is no surprise he cannot refuse an overture from a star like Yang Mi surely. It cannot be that extreme. Having known Yang Mi for so many years, I am well aware of her character. She would never debase herself in such a manner. Upon hearing this, Zheng Jia couldn't help but furrow her brow. Although their relationship had devolved into animosity, they once shared an exceptionally close bond, discussing everything under the sun. Zhao Ruoreo continued. Yang Mi is currently facing setbacks in both love and career, making her unpredictable. Chunling added, moreover, she is divorced. Sacrificing a small cost to preserve her shares is hardly a concern. However, I did not anticipate that Yang Mi would go so far as to associate with Wang Xikong. Chunling shook her head in disdain. Yet, this situation poses complications for us. Zhao Ruoreo's expression turned somber. She was far less optimistic than the others. They were acutely aware of Wang Xizong's background. If he were to intervene on her behalf, their options would dwindle, rendering the acquisition of Yang Mi's shares impossible. Zheng Jia sighed in resignation, stating, now, it all hinges on Wang Xizong's attitude. There's no point in speculating. We shall discover the truth once we enter. Chunling smiled. It seems we have no other choice. Zhao Ruoreo nodded in agreement. Wang Xizong's emergence had directly disrupted their plans. In recent times, key positions within the company have been filled with their own people, rendering Yang Mi nearly superfluous. Her influence diminished to its lowest point. Yet, it appeared that matters were far from simple. Regardless, they would not concede defeat due to Wang Xizong's involvement. The three exchanged resolute glances, determination evident in their eyes. Very well, let us proceed and see what tricks they have up their sleeves, Chunling declared. At this juncture, the notion of reconciliation was utterly discarded. It was a matter of survival. Only one side could emerge victorious. After pressing the doorbell, the trio waited briefly before the grand door of the villa swung open. The three individuals turned to face Yang Mi, their expressions instantly morphing into feigned smiles. Mimi, what brings you here? The board meeting we were supposed to hold today has been postponed, one of them remarked. Yang Mi's face was also adorned with a smile, leaving an unsuspecting observer to believe that they shared a cordial relationship. As they entered the house and made their way to the living room, their gazes fell upon Wang Xikong. The moment they laid eyes on Wang Yu, their expressions froze in disbelief. Zheng Jia's Chanel handbag clattered to the floor, its contents, lipstick and powder, scattering everywhere. She staggered back a step, incredulously exclaiming, Wang Yu. Chunling's hand trembled violently as she adjusted her glasses, her pupils shrinking to pinpricks behind the lenses, while Zhao Ruo's complexion turned ashen, her legs weak, nearly giving way beneath her. Quite the discerning eyes you have, Wang Yu remarked, lifting his wine glass, the aroma wafting through the air. I heard you were interested in the shares held by Yang Mi? Mr. Wang, what a surprise to see you. Chunling forced a smile, her voice quaking. She caught a glimpse of Wang Xizong, who was lounging with a raised eyebrow, her teeth nearly grinding in anxiety. They had surmised that Yang Mi had enlisted Wang Xizong to mediate, but they had not anticipated the arrival of the formidable Wang Yu. The repercussions of Chun Yongkai's provocation against Wang Yu were still fresh in their minds. His connections reached the heavens. Who would dare provoke him? Please, don't just stand there, take a seat. Yang Mi gracefully gestured to them, a smile gracing her lips. She struggled to suppress the urge to laugh, relishing the irony of the situation. How the tables had turned for them. Wang Yu glanced at them, his voice calm yet piercing. What is the matter? Do you not wish to see me? Not at all. We were merely hoping to become acquainted with Mr. Wang. Zheng Jia's throat tightened, and as she bent to retrieve her handbag, her nails dug deep into her palm. As for any acquisition of Yang Mi's shares, that is a misunderstanding. We have been partners for many years. The company's development is inextricably linked to Yang Mi. Since the company's growth is so reliant on Yang Mi, it seems you may no longer be of use to it, Wang Yu remarked, his words laden with meaning. Zheng Jia and the others exchanged bewildered glances, struggling to comprehend. Wang Xizong scoffed, exaggeratedly shaking his head as he declared, "Come on, don't pretend to be oblivious. The reason we summoned you today is precisely regarding the shares. You three should sell your shares to us, and we can coexist peacefully, continuing to enjoy our time in the entertainment industry. But should you choose not to cooperate, well, don't say I didn't warn you." Mr. Wang, your words come as quite a shock. The company is currently experiencing rapid growth. The shares we hold are genuine investments, not something we can simply sell on a whim. Zhang Jia's face fluctuated between pale and flushed as she feigned calmness. Forcing a smile, Wang Xizong's intentions were glaringly straightforward. He sought to acquire their shares. This diverged entirely from their original purpose. They had come to discuss acquiring Yang Mi's shares. It was evident that Wang Yu and Wang Xizong were resolutely standing up for Yang Mi. In the face of their pressure, Yang Mi refused to yield easily. Finding Wang Xicong was one thing, but now they've also involved Wang Yu. This has placed them in a rather precarious situation, for Wang Yu is now standing up for Yang Mi. The matter at hand has already taken shape, and there is no room for struggle. Otherwise, they would find themselves without a foothold in the entire entertainment industry. If Wang Yu were to willingly acquire their shares at the original price, that would be one thing. However, should he offer less, they would be left with no choice. Nevertheless, they trust that Wang Yu would not engage in such unscrupulous actions. The investments made by the capital in recent times have been marked by grandeur and integrity, overwhelming everything in its path. Wang Yu is not unreasonable, nor does he lack the means. Forcing others to relinquish their shares is one matter. But pressing for a lower price would be entirely unacceptable, as it would significantly tarnish his reputation. At most, he might wish to display some masculine vigor before Yang Mi, perhaps to vent his frustrations. As long as the price is not excessively outrageous, an agreement could be reached. After all, there are numerous profitable ventures available. However, to offend Wang Yu over this matter would be ill-advised. Mr. Wang, we share a sisterly bond with Yang Mi and have held these shares for many years. Chen Ling glanced at Wang Yu, speaking cautiously. Stop with the pleasantries. Let us get straight to the point. Wang Yu leaned back, reclining on the sofa as he spoke nonchalantly. I want all the shares you hold. Name your price. Chen Ling looked toward Zhang Jia and Zhao Ruru. Uncertain of what to do, Zhao Ruru felt cold sweat bead on her forehead and mustered the courage to say, Mr. Wang, is there some misunderstanding between us? We have no intention of selling our shares. Indeed, you must have misinterpreted something, Mr. Wang. We have no such intentions. Zhang Jia wiped the sweat from her brow and forced a smile. We are like sisters to Yang Mi. It has been a challenging journey to establish Jiaxing Media together. We have faced numerous difficulties over the years, yet we have persevered. The company is akin to our heart and soul. How can we possibly bear to transfer our shares at your request? Chapter 240. The sense of oppression was overwhelming. Sisters, supporting each other? Yang Mi abruptly stood up, her 10-centimeter stiletto heels clicking as she approached the three. When you were forming cliques within the company to target me, why did you not speak of sisterhood then? Forcing me to relinquish my shares. Is that your idea of mutual support? Excluding me from decision-making in the boardroom and spreading rumors about my divorce to the media. That was all you, wasn't it? Where was your so-called camaraderie then? That was all a misunderstanding. Zhang Jia's lips moved, attempting to defend herself. It must have been those with ulterior motives trying to frame us. Ha ha. Do not think I am unaware. Zhang Jia, you've been secretly liaising with Shangshi Pictures, plotting to bring me down, haven't you? And you too. Do not pretend to be innocent before me. Yang Mi's gaze was filled with wrath as she regarded her former close friends, showing no mercy. She had once placed complete trust in these sisters, allowing them to handle many matters since they started the company together. The power within the company is immense. Yet, their insatiable greed drives them to even exclude her, attempting to oust her from the very media company she founded, Jiaxing Media. Such contempt is truly detestable. I harbor no interest in your excuses. Wang Yu's gaze was icy as she spoke blandly. Whatever profound sisterly bond you share with Secretary Yang is of no concern to me. You may continue your private discussions later. However, the shares you hold must be sold to me today, or you shall find no refuge in the entertainment industry again. Wang Yu's eyes suddenly fixed on the group. Or perhaps you hold grievances against me. Do you refuse to sell your shares? No, we absolutely do not mean that. It is a privilege for us that President Wang values our shares, Zhang Jia stammered, her words tumbling out in a fluster. The three were instantly flustered, rendered speechless by the lethal intensity of Wang Yu's gaze. In their panic, they pondered the folly of confessing that their sole aim was to pressure Yang Mi into selling her shares, with no intention of relinquishing their own. Was this not tantamount to courting disaster? President Wang, Please allow us to explain. Chun Ling stifled her anxiety, her mind racing. Jiaxing Media is merely a small company, hardly worthy of your attention. If you seek to invest in the entertainment industry, Huiguang Media, as the leading giant, would be a far more suitable choice, wouldn't it? Ah, are you advising me now? Wang Yu shook her head and replied, if you dare to scheme against Yang Mi, you should have anticipated this day. Huiguang Media? Do you think I, Wang Yu, am a mere child to be manipulated at your whim? I shall reiterate for the last time. I will have those shares today. Zhen Jia and her companions exchanged troubled glances, realizing that failing to provide a satisfactory response to Wang Yu would spell their doom. Chun Ling tentatively ventured, President Wang, we truly have no desire to sell our shares. We have dedicated many years to Jiaxing Media and have developed a deep affection for the company. To demand our shares now feels like asking for our very lives. We cannot bear to part with our lifelong dedication. Wang Yu, upon hearing this, remained silent, her expression impassive as she regarded them. Chun Ling, Zhen Jia, and Zhao Ruru felt their hearts race, sweat dampening their backs, overwhelmed by the formidable pressure Wang Yu exuded. Even in silence, her presence loomed as if they were facing an exceedingly high-ranking official. The atmosphere in the living room grew tense. The only sounds were the hurried breaths of the three women. Wang Xizong stifled a laugh, maintaining a poker face while barely suppressing a smile at the absurdity of the scene before him. Three middle-aged women, trembling like quails in the presence of the remarkably youthful Wang Yu. After a moment, Wang Yu slowly spoke. Very well, I'm not one to bully others with my position. Since you do not wish to sell your shares, I shall not force you. Is this true, President Wang? We are immensely grateful. Zheng Jia exhaled deeply and expressed her gratitude. Chun Ling and Zhao Rureo looked at Wang Yu with appreciation, surprised by his amiable disposition. Yang Mi felt a pang of disappointment in her heart, yet maintained a stoic expression. Whether Wang Yu wished to acquire the shares of the three women depended solely on his mood. Although Yang Mi desired him to be her boss, this outcome was not entirely unacceptable. However, I have taken note of your words. Should I discover that you have sold your shares, do not blame me for being unyielding. Wang Yu spoke nonchalantly, stating that if you have feelings for Jiaxing Media, you should stay in the company. Any other thoughts should not be directed at me. As soon as Wang Yu finished speaking, the relaxed demeanor of Zheng Jia, Chun Ling, and Zhao Rureo transformed into anxiety once more. What had led them to this conflict with Yang Mi, their close sister? It was, after all, for the sake of money. Yet, Wang Yu's words clearly warned them against selling their shares. This was more painful than a death sentence. What had been the purpose of their efforts? No matter how valuable their shares were, if they could not be liquidated, they held no real worth. The company's market value, no matter how high, rendered their shares mere numbers devoid of meaning. Their gazes toward Wang Yu shifted dramatically. It became evident that he was resolute in retaining their shares and had no intention of relinquishing them. Offending Wang Yu was not an option they were willing to entertain. These wealthy heirs placed immense importance on their reputation. Should they refuse to give Wang Yu face, he wouldn't need to take direct action against them. A mere whisper in the entertainment industry would suffice to make their lives difficult. The trio had no doubts regarding Wang Yu's capabilities. The downfall of Huiguang Media served as a cautionary tale. Titans of the entertainment world, like Chun Yongkai and Zhang Ming, had faced dire consequences for offending Wang Yu, now rendered incapable of showing their faces in public. Suddenly, they realized that before Wang Yu, they possessed no leverage to resist. Their only choice was to sell their shares, gaining whatever they could. Zheng Jia's throat tightened, swallowing hard as she broke the oppressive silence. Since you value Jiaxing Media so highly, we dare not conceal anything. However, the transfer of shares must come at a reasonable price. Her voice quivered, yet she forced a semblance of a flattering smile. Wang Yu's slender fingers tapped rhythmically on the armrest, an indifferent tempo that made the hearts of the three women race. He suddenly chuckled lightly. As long as you cooperate, the price you deserve will not be a penny less. Chapter 241. This is truly life-threatening. Mr. Wang, you are magnanimous. Zheng Jia quickly chimed in, her face adorned with a smile of flattery. Since Wang Yu promised a satisfactory price, there was no need to worry about him undervaluing their shares. Selling at a premium was no longer within their aspirations. Merely selling at the original price was already a sign of Wang Yu's good nature. Had it been another wealthy heir, they might have been compelled to surrender their shares without any remuneration. Such occurrences were not unheard of in their circle. How many affluent second-generation heirs, relying on their influential backgrounds, demand this and that? Enterprises that catch their eye inevitably end up in their grasp. It is fortunate if the founders can remain unscathed. Acquiring shares at their original value is merely a distant aspiration. Before long, the villa's living room was brimming with guests. Employees from Whale Capital and Jiaxing Media gathered here. Manager Chun from Whale Capital, accompanied by the company's legal team and relevant personnel, was preparing to sign the share transfer agreement with Jiaxing Media. Following a professional evaluation by the company, and in conjunction with Jiaxing Media's current stock price, the total value of the shares held by the three, Zhang Jia and her associates, amounted to 25 billion. Wang Yu and Wang Xikong transferred 24.5 billion, along with an additional 500 million, to acquire 80% of their shares. The payment was made immediately. Consequently, Wang Yu became the largest shareholder of Jiaxing Media, leaving only Yang Mi and the minor shareholder Wang Xikong with the remaining shares. Wang Yu emerged as the true owner of Jiaxing Media, with Yang Mi now working under her. Zhang Jia and her companions signed the contract with alacrity, though somewhat reluctantly. However, Wang Yu did not attempt to undervalue their shares. Although the final amount did not meet their initial expectations, it was still commendable that such a prominent young master was willing to invest significantly in their shares. This was indeed a rare occurrence. Moreover, given the company's valuation, liquidating assets was not an easy feat, and depreciation in value was likely. Thus, a 5 billion reduction in valuation fell within a reasonable range. Subsequent relevant matters can be coordinated with Manager Chun. Selling the shares to me was a wise decision, Wang Yu remarked, her face radiating with a smile. The previous frostiness dissipated, as if she had transformed into a different person altogether. It is our honor that President Wang values these shares. We will rely on Manager Chun moving forward, Zhang Jia responded, her face adorned with a beaming smile. With the shares now acquired by Wang Yu, the last point of contention between them vanished, and it was too late to curry favor with her. How could they dare to show hostility toward Wang Yu? It was essential to leave a favorable impression, as future collaboration might be in the cards. President Wang's ambition is unparalleled in the entire business circle, Zhao Ruo remarked, her eyes sparkling with admiration. Without reservations, she now found Wang Yu increasingly captivating. Knowing how generous President Wang is, we sisters should have listened to you sooner. Chun Ling suddenly chimed in with a playful tone. Wang Yu immediately inhaled sharply, a chill running down her spine, nearly losing her dinner at the sight of the three plump middle-aged women before her. Ding! The system detected that the host spent 24.5 billion, double cashback of 49 billion. Ding! Congratulations to the host for earning 245,000 system points. After bidding farewell to Zhang Jia and her companions, Wang Yu slumped onto the leather sofa, rubbing her temples. These women are truly exhausting. She raised her glass of red wine and downed it in one gulp. Wang Xikong, with a playful smile dancing at the corners of her mouth, remarked, "Oh, President Wang seems utterly enchanted and overwhelmed." The way they sweetly addressed him as General Wang was almost reminiscent of calling him Brother Wang Yu. Yet, he found himself feeling somewhat disdainful. Wang Yu shot him a sidelong glance and hurled a cushion at him. Just try being fawned over by three heavily made-up individuals. I was left with goosebumps all over, and my neck still tingles. Wang Xikong nimbly sidestepped the cushion, doubling over with laughter as he theatrically clutched his belly. Ha ha! Wang Yu, look at you now. If I had known, I would have recorded this moment, just to show those in the entertainment industry who call you the king of hell how utterly terrified you were by a few beauties. He deliberately elongated his tone, mimicking Chun Ling's playful tone. General Wang, our sisters are truly sincere. Wang Yu's expression darkened, resembling the bottom of a pot, and he chose to ignore him. Young Mi, with a smile playing on her lips, finally relaxed. The turmoil within Jiaxing Media had finally come to a close. Yet, she still found it hard to believe that matters had resolved so simply. What had seemed an insurmountable problem was effortlessly handled by Wang Yu. From the arrival of Zhang Jia and her companions to the signing of contracts, all in under 2 hours. The three individuals she had once loathed disappeared entirely from Jiaxing Media, severing all ties. The previous collusion to ostracize her would never occur again. This thought spurred Yang Mi to hasten back to the company, eager to confront those fickle turncoats who dare to roll their eyes at her. Their audacity was infuriating. With Wang Yu at the helm of Jiaxing, he would ensure that even the once mighty Huiguang Media would bow its noble head in her presence. Henceforth, Yang Mi would stride confidently through the entertainment industry. Life is unpredictable. Initially, the company's stock plummeted due to her divorce, leading to a cascade of crises that left Yang Mi feeling helpless. Zhang Jia and her cohorts were determined to force her out of Jiaxing Media. With a sense of desperation, she sought the assistance of Wang Xikong and Wang Yu, hoping for their support, especially Wang Yu's financial strength and the influence he wielded. far beyond that of a mere second-generation heir. However, she had only met Wang Yu once, and approaching him directly felt daunting. Therefore, she initially reached out to Wang Xikong, the sycophant, ultimately securing Wang Yu's assistance. The outcome was beyond Yang Mi's expectations. In comparison to her divorce, Wang Yu becoming the largest shareholder of Jiaxing Media was of paramount importance. She felt a strange gratitude towards her ex-husband for initiating the divorce. Otherwise, such fortunate circumstances might not have unfolded, especially when compared to Wang Yu. Her ex-husband paled in insignificance. There was no room for comparison. In terms of appearance, stature, and allure, Wang Yu eclipsed him completely. It was this strikingly handsome man before her that embodied the immense power of the Wang family in Huagua, a force so formidable that no one dared to provoke. She began to comprehend why the elder of the Wang family would extend his hand to assist Wang Yu in resolving matters with Huiguang Media. A deity possesses an air of authority that mere mortals cannot dare to challenge. Moreover, a deity cannot bleed. Chapter 242. You even said you like me this time. The issue was impeccably resolved, and henceforth, you shall no longer be plagued by such worries, all thanks to me. Shouldn't you express your gratitude? Wang Xizong's eyebrows lifted slightly, and he looked at Yang Mi with a smug expression. Me? Yang Mi rolled her eyes and retorted without mercy. Did you truly resolve it? If gratitude is due, it should be directed towards our Wang Xiao. Without me, could Wang Yu have assisted you? I may not bear the credit, but I certainly have my share of toil. You cannot expect me to be the one to toil like a beast in the next life, as they do in dramas. Just offer yourself to me in this life, Wang Xikong said. But in dramas, the unattractive characters are the ones destined to serve in the next life. Only the handsome characters are offered in devotion. Do you understand? Ugly rejection. Yang Mi waved her hands repeatedly, her face filled with disdain. Perhaps I should tell Zheng Jia and the others about you, this old dried meat. They might just fancy that type. They're my sisters, and I trust they wouldn't refuse. Having known Wang Xikong for quite some time, she knew he had no airs about him, and he wouldn't take her jokes to heart. Thus, Yang Mi spoke freely, unconcerned about whether Wang Xikong would be offended. Upon recalling their appearances, Wang Xizong's expression soured, as if he had just ingested a fly. He pointed at Yang Mi, his finger trembling, unable to articulate a response for a while. Honestly, I am immensely grateful for your assistance. Without you, I truly wouldn't know what to do. How about this? I'll treat you all to dinner later. But you must not refuse. Yang Mi suddenly became serious, saying, I wonder if I might have the honor of expressing my gratitude. I want to go. I have arrangements with other girls later. Wang Xikong waved his hand, declining. Huh, you even said you liked me, yet now you have plans with other girls. Yang Mi sighed, though she understood. Wang Xikong was a prominent figure. Countless girls across the nation yearned for a romantic relationship with him. It was only natural for him to have engagements with others. Wang Yu, however, cast a puzzled glance at Wang Xikong. Something seemed amiss. This investment was facilitated by Wang Xikong, all to win Yang Mi's favor, hoping to embrace a beauty. Yet now, when Yang Mi extended an invitation to dinner, Wang Xikong chose to decline, which puzzled Wang Yu. What's going on here? All right then, we shall take our leave. Yang Mi glanced at the two and was the first to exit the villa. Wang Yu, however, remained behind, looking at Wang Xikong with confusion. Why aren't you going? This is quite astonishing. Forget it. I want to join this commotion. Yang Mi has never shown interest in me. It's best to abandon the thought. I would rather spend my time drinking with other girls. Wang Xikong shrugged nonchalantly. At least he would still enjoy a meal. He sensed Yang Mi's lack of interest in him, but the sentiment towards Wang Yu was entirely different. Wang Xikong, though deeply affectionate, yet the women he has been with far exceed the meals an ordinary person consumes in a lifetime. Yang Mi's sentiments regarding this were abundantly clear. From the moment they became acquainted, she never afforded Wang Xikong an opportunity, consistently treating him as a comrade. She exhibited an exquisite sense of boundaries. Wang Xikong couldn't help but exclaim, We are like brothers now. Do you think I still have a chance? If Yang Mi were to grant him such an opportunity, he would likely be at a loss for what to do. He felt no regret about not being able to engage with her on a deeper level. Although he harbored deep feelings for Yang Mi, it was merely a passing sentiment. The allure of carefree romantic escapades was what he truly desired. After experiencing heartbreak from his first love in his youth, Wang Xikong vowed never to genuinely fall for a woman again. His feelings for Yang Mi were purely a unique psychological phenomenon. The identity of a superstar also brought with it a distinct psychological sensation. Acquiring her would be ideal. Yet not obtaining her would be inconsequential, as he was surrounded by numerous admirers. Countless girls yearned to connect with him, but found themselves unable to do so. Wang Yu cast a surprised glance at him. Wang Xizong's clarity of thought was astonishing. It seemed his previous demeanor had been a facade, leading Wang Yu to misjudge him. However, this revelation was not entirely unexpected. It aligned perfectly with Wang Xizong's affluent background. As a privileged heir, his upbringing had instilled a sense of rationality, making it improbable for him to harbor such sentiments towards a woman. Otherwise, it would be a source of ridicule. Brother, my chances are gone. Now it's up to you. Wang Xikong nonchalantly remarked. You must help me save face. After all, I have pursued Yang Mi for quite some time. Relinquishing her so easily would leave me unsatisfied. You are my brother, and she clearly has feelings for you. You must win her over tonight. By doing so, you effectively grant me a semblance of victory, and it would serve as a form of retribution for me. You need not worry about me. Wang Yu initially felt concerned that Wang Xikong might be disheartened and wished to console him as a brother. It was evident, however, that his worries were unfounded. When had Wang Xikong developed such a mischievous streak? Wang Yu shook his head and made his way toward the door. Just as he reached for the doorknob, a cushion suddenly struck him from behind. Turning around, he found Wang Xikong making exaggerated faces and burst into laughter. Don't take this lightly. Now that Yang Mi is divorced, she has numerous admirers. It would be a great loss if someone else were to seize the opportunity. I am offering you this chance because you are my brother. I wouldn't do the same for anyone else. If I can't have her, I won't let anyone else have her either. Don't leave just yet. Think this through. She is a bona fide superstar. When you turned back, exasperated, and regarded the capering Wang Xikong. So, I am merely your pawn in this game? Are you not concerned that if I truly win Yang Mi's affection, it might cause you heartache when we meet again? Upon hearing this, Wang Xikong dramatically snapped his fingers, leaping from the sofa and bounding towards Wang Yu, throwing an arm around his shoulder. If you genuinely possess such prowess, I, Wang Xikong, will throw you a celebration feast on the spot. You are my brother. It is far better for you to benefit than for someone else to take advantage. He suddenly lowered his voice, a glint of cunning flashing in his eyes. But to speak candidly, Yang Mi appears to be full of charm, yet at her core, she possesses an unwavering tenacity. If you genuinely harbor feelings for her, be prepared for a serious endeavor. Should you encounter obstacles beyond your control, just give a shout, and I shall summon a few seasoned veterans of the romantic arena to offer their wisdom. We shall assist you in analyzing the situation. Striving to win Yang Mi's heart swiftly, Wang Xikong released his grip and said with a nonchalant demeanor, Go on, go on. And remember to keep your brothers updated on the battlefield. Wang Yu rarely acknowledged this playful character, turning to push open the villa's grand door. He cast a glance back at Wang Xikong, who was still winking at him, and couldn't help but chuckle while chiding. You should be more concerned about those lonely internet celebrities in your phone. Are you feeling envious? Wang Xikong replied indifferently. Chapter 243. What would you offer a young woman? Wang Yu chuckled lightly and proceeded towards Yang Mi. Upon meeting her, they walked together toward the parking area. The atmosphere between them was somewhat subdued. Wang Yu remained silent while Yang Mi furtively stole glances at him. I have matters to attend to, so I shall take my leave and forego dinner, Wang Yu stated as he reached his luxury car, turning to face Yang Mi. Wang Xiao. Didn't you promise to have dinner together? Why are you backing out? Yang Mi's captivating large eyes sparkled with mischief as she smiled. You are now my esteemed boss, and I am merely your subordinate. What's wrong with having a meal? Wang Yu regarded her with a calm demeanor, idly toying with the car keys in his hand. Yang Mi, with a boldness that surprised even herself, continued, Wang Xiao, you have aided me, and I am not one to lack gratitude. Otherwise, how could I maintain my dignity if word got out? Moreover, the fate of the company rests in your hands. I ought to update you on our current status so that you may issue directives. Otherwise, it would be quite embarrassing if, shortly after you invested, the company began to suffer losses. With a touch of theatrics, Yang Mi lamented, just consider me as a humble employee seeking to curry favor with you. Please, indulge me with a meal. Are you afraid of being discovered by the paparazzi while dining with me? Wang Yu smiled faintly, dismissing her jest with lightheartedness. The chairperson of Jiaxing Media had always been Yang Mi, and under her leadership, the company had seen substantial profits each year. He, an outsider, was hardly equipped to issue any commands. As long as Yang Mi maintained her composure and refrained from reckless investments, the company would not incur losses. Get in the car. Wang Yu nodded, pressing the button on his key fob. The headlights of the Koenigsegg Jesko ignited in a dazzling display. Without waiting for Yang Mi, he opened the mesmerizing door of the Jesko and settled inside. Riding in Yang Mi's car, or having her follow behind, was hardly suitable. The media was currently fixated on her. If Yang Mi were to invite employees of Jiaxing Media for dinner, Wang Yu would not be concerned, as it would merely appear to be a routine gathering. However, dining alone with Yang Mi was a different matter entirely. The media would disregard their intentions and simply assume they were on a date. Indeed, the most talked-about topic online at present is the divorce of Yang Mi. Should the paparazzi discover Wang Yu and Yang Mi together and subsequently expose it, it would undoubtedly be explosive news. Wang Yu is already a sensation on the internet, a newly crowned national heartthrob. Coupled with Yang Mi's popularity, the consequences could be astounding. I can hardly fathom the excitement of netizens eager to gossip. If such a situation were to arise, even those backing Wang Yu would find it challenging to suppress such sensational news. Moreover, seeking assistance from his grandfather to mitigate such a scandal would be utterly humiliating. Wang Yu would dread facing the scrutinizing gaze of his grandfather, a true social death. His grandfather often teases him about having numerous girlfriends, and adding Yang Mi to the mix would only exacerbate that. However, if Yang Mi were to ride his car, it would significantly enhance her safety, eliminating the risk of attracting the paparazzi due to vehicle-related issues. Upon hearing this, Yang Mi did not decline. She opened the door and gracefully slid into the seat. Ensnared by the seatbelt, her alluring figure was unmistakably revealed. Wang Yu's gaze involuntarily drifted towards her, and she truly embodied her name, the captivating beauty. "Thank you, Mr. Wang, for treating this humble employee to a meal. I am immensely grateful," Yang Mi remarked. Noticing Wang Yu's gaze and instinctively adjusting her full bosom, her eyes sparkling with mirth. She then elegantly crossed her long legs, which nearly ensnared Wang Yu's attention completely. "You're too kind. Securing this lucrative investment was also thanks to your efforts," Wang Yu replied, swallowing hard as he tightened his grip on the steering wheel. What a dangerously enchanting vixen she was. Since his rebirth, Wang Yu had long since shed the innocence of youth and was well-versed in matters of romance. Yet, in Yang Mi's presence, he often found himself ensnared by her allure. "Is there any merit to my contribution?" Yang Mi leaned closer, her hair brushing against his arm, her warm breath whispering by his ear. "Then perhaps I should receive a tangible reward." "What do you desire?" Wang Yu countered. "That depends on what Mr. Wang is willing to offer a humble lady," Yang Mi teased, settling back in her seat. Wang Yu paid little mind to her playful banter. Over time, he had grown accustomed to Yang Mi's nature. Being from the capital, she was rather fond of engaging in light-hearted chatter. After all, she had dared to tease him on their first encounter. Now, with their growing familiarity and understanding of Wang Yu's amiable disposition, she felt liberated, effortlessly exchanging risky jokes. With the company's troubles resolved, she felt at ease and more inclined to share jovial quips with Wang Yu. "Where's the restaurant located?" Wang Yu asked, keeping his gaze fixed ahead, not responding to Yang Mi's previous comment. "Not far," she replied, pulling out her phone to navigate. "This restaurant is quite private. I often dine here. The confidentiality is excellent, and the paparazzi would surely be a loss." The establishment not only offered privacy, but also boasted exquisite cuisine. She turned to Wang Yu, her eyes sparkling with a hint of mystery, especially their head chef, who used to preside over state banquets. A true culinary master, once tasted. "It's unforgettable." As they spoke, Wang Yu followed the navigation, steering the car into a tranquil alleyway beneath the soft glow of the street lamps. The weathered walls of the old building exude a hint of vintage charm. Yang Mi pointed towards a doorway adorned with a dark fabric curtain ahead. "We've arrived. Do not be deceived by its unassuming exterior. Within lies a hidden paradise." As Wang Yu steadied the car and prepared to exit, he noticed Yang Mi had already deftly unfastened her seatbelt. When she stepped out, she slightly bent forward, accentuating her alluring curves. Her fair and rosy feet adorned with delicate high heels. Upon reaching Wang Yu's side, she unexpectedly linked her arm with his, sweetly smiling. "Young Master Wang, shall we enter?" Wang Yu surveyed the surroundings and nodded. Indeed, this establishment possessed an undeniable sense of intimacy. Who would have imagined that a superstar would dine here? Yang Mi pushed open the heavy wooden door. Warm golden light cascaded down, illuminating the restaurant's elegantly rustic decor, featuring numerous private rooms, accompanied by the faint sound of a soothing guqin in the background. "Miss Yang, your usual spot is ready," a waiter promptly greeted as he noticed Yang Mi's arrival. "Very well," she replied with a smile, turning to Wang Yu. "Every detail here is meticulously arranged. Even the calligraphy and paintings on the screen were created by a master sourced by the owner." She guided Wang Yu through the winding corridor, stopping at a refined room by the window. Inside, the table was adorned with exquisite appetizers, while outside, the bamboo grove swayed gently, and moonlight filtered through the intricately carved window, casting patterns on the blue brick floor. With grace, Yang Mi seated herself and poured tea for both of them. Do taste this. It is a cherished aged pu'er, quite valuable and rarely found outside. No wonder you frequent this place. Even the tea is exceptional, Wang Yu remarked, lifting his cup to inhale the rich aroma mingled with the scent of aged leaves. Raising an eyebrow in approval. Indeed, Yang Mi mused, resting her chin on her hand, her fingers playfully entwining in her hair. I brought you here for more than just tea. Suddenly leaning closer, she revealed a glimpse of her fair skin. Regarding the recent company matters, had it not been for your assistance, I would have been at a loss. I truly appreciate your help. It was merely a trivial matter. It was no trouble for me, Wang Yu replied, smiling as he cast a glance at the enticing sight before him. Trivial? Yang Mi tilted her head, laughing softly as her hair brushed against his hand. This mess at Jiaxing Media has deterred many. Only you, young Master Wang, possess the audacity to tackle it. At that moment, the waiter began to serve the dishes. The cuisine leaned towards the flavors of the metropolis, yet each plate was exquisitely presented. Crab roe tofu, crispy shrimp, fragrant eel, osmanthus sweet lotus, and marinated fresh delicacies. The room was suddenly filled with tantalizing aromas. Wang Yu's appetite was piqued as he picked up a piece of fresh bamboo shoot and savored it. It is absolutely delightful. Yang Mi scooped a spoonful of the appetizing crab roe tofu, the amber-hued cubes appearing irresistibly tempting. This crab roe is made from the meat of seasonal hairy crabs, simmered in chicken broth for 2.5 hours, resulting in unparalleled freshness. She unexpectedly offered the spoon to Wang Yu's lips, her gaze sparkling. Young Master Wang, do give it a taste. Does it meet your approval? Wang Yu's lips curved into a smile as he tilted his head, accepting the spoonful of tofu. The steaming crab roe tofu melted instantly on his tongue, the savory essence intertwining with the rich flavor of the bean. How is it? The taste is quite delightful, isn't it? Yang Mi gazed at Wang Yu with her wide, expectant eyes. Indeed, the flavor was exceptional, Wang Yu remarked. It was no surprise that a prominent star like Yang Mi would choose to visit such a place. The culinary offerings were beyond reproach. Such a locale would remain unknown to those who are not true connoisseurs. Upon receiving Wang Yu's affirmation, Yang Mi's smile brightened, her large eyes curving into crescent moons. She lifted a nearby wine glass, poured a generous serving of the aerated red wine for Wang Yu, and filled her own glass as well. Raising her glass, she smiled at Wang Yu and said, Mr. Wang, I toast to you. Just be casual, Wang Yu replied, nodding in acquiescence. He clinked his glass with Yang Mi's and took a sip. However, Yang Mi drained her glass in one go, then refilled it, indulging herself once more. They had only just begun to sample the dishes, yet the wine had flowed freely. Wang Yu made no effort to stop her. Yang Mi appeared to be in high spirits, seemingly unaffected by her divorce or troubles with her agency. Although a star, she was still human, and like anyone else, she could feel disheartened. Women, by nature, often struggle with resilience, especially when faced with a barrage of troubles. Yet, Yang Mi concealed her burdens deep within, always greeting the world with a smile and exhibiting a heart full of courage. Nevertheless, these negative emotions lingered inside her, yearning for release. Now that her troubles had been resolved, Yang Mi gradually began to relax. She harbored no ulterior motives. She simply wished to indulge a little, to drink and find joy. She was unconcerned about the potential dangers of becoming inebriated in front of Wang Yu. After a few glasses of red wine, her cheeks flushed a charming shade of crimson, and her gaze became somewhat hazy. Tilting her head, her fingers absent-mindedly traced the rim of her glass as she suddenly chuckled softly. Mr. Wang, do you know? During this time, I've been putting on a brave face every day, afraid that showing any weakness would invite ridicule. Every word, every expression is subject to interpretation. The moment you show any vulnerability, they seek to exploit it. Her voice carried a hint of raspiness. Being a star may appear glamorous on the surface, but inside, it's more exhausting than anyone can imagine. As she spoke, she propped her chin on her hand, her gaze fixed intently on Wang Yu. But today is different. Being with you makes me feel particularly at ease. I can be my true self. After all, you are my boss, and with you backing me at Jiaxing, I no longer have to bear such a heavy load. Suddenly, Yang Mi reached out and grasped Wang Yu's hand. In previous collaborations, the way those bosses looked at me was disconcerting. It was either about calculating profits or evaluating my physique, as if they wanted to devour me. But you are different. You neither scrutinize my interests nor my body, and even if you do glance, it is with openness, far superior to those lecherous men. All right, no more drinking. If you continue, you will truly be intoxicated, Wang Yu said, raising an eyebrow and gently pressing down on Yang Mi's hand as she reached for the glass again. Yang Mi laughed gaily. What if I get drunk? I'm not afraid. After all, Mr. Wang wouldn't leave me stranded on the street. She suddenly rose, her steps unsteady yet resolutely resting upon Wang Yu's shoulder. The fragrance of rose perfume mingled with the scent of red wine, enveloping him as her cascading hair brushed against his ear. Do you know? On the day of my divorce, I was trending online, and my fans were in an uproar in the comments. Yet, I had to time my tears, fearful that if I cried too long, I would be photographed by paparazzi at the next event and subjected to unwarranted interpretations. Yang Mi's eyes glistened with unshed tears, her voice trembling. I was terrified of being captured in a moment of vulnerability. Just as Wang Yu opened his mouth to speak, Yang Mi collapsed onto him, her soft form nearly melting into his embrace. She tilted her head to gaze at the crystal chandelier above, her eyes glazed with a distant gaze. Now it's different. You are my boss. Will you protect me from now on? The moonlight streamed through the bamboo outside, casting a gentle glow on Yang Mi's somewhat pitiful face. He pulled out a tissue, softly dabbing the wine from the corner of her lips, his fingertips grazing a dampness that he could not discern, whether it was wine or tears. The world saw only the glamorous facade of a superstar, yet how much sorrow remained hidden behind the scenes. The bamboo forest outside rustled softly. In that moment, the private room where Yang Mi and Wang Yu sat seemed to exist in isolation from the prying eyes of the media and the cacophony of public opinion. It was merely a drunken woman shedding her fade. It became evident that even the most radiant star was nothing more than a mortal stumbling through the trials of life. As one endures the hardships of existence, the tears swallowed will ultimately transform into the most brilliant diamonds, rendering one a true heroine in the eyes of the world. Wang Yu gazed at Yang Mi, who babbled incoherently in his arms, her reddened eyes still glistening with unshed tears, her lashes fluttering with a breath. He sighed softly and called for the waiter to settle the bill, which amounted to 380 yuan. Yang Mi insisted on buying. Wang Yu chuckled at her swaying figure, shaking his head in amusement. Once outside, he gently asked, "What is your address? I shall escort you home." Attempting to rouse the somewhat dazed Yang Mi, he was met with an unexpected embrace as she clung to his neck, her voice quivering with emotion. "I have no home anymore. I've been abandoned. Woe is me." Her voice choked with an overwhelming sense of grievance and solitude. Chapter 245. Quite the discerning eye, aren't you? I cannot very well take you to my home. If paparazzi catch wind of it, the headlines would explode. Wang Yu shrugged, a hint of exasperation in his tone. This woman truly posed a challenge. How could she trust him so completely with her inebriated self? Was she not concerned at all? Why not just toss her into a hotel? What are you afraid of? Are you still worried about those trivial media? I'm not afraid. Why should you be? Hearing this, Yang Mi suddenly burst into laughter, a mischievous glint laced with drunkenness in her voice. She paused, rummaging through her belongings in Wang Yu's embrace, retrieving her phone and revealing an address. "This is my privately purchased house. No one knows about it, so don't spill the beans, all right?" She squinted playfully, resembling a child as she presented the phone to Wang Yu, her eyes brimming with trust. Wang Yu took the phone, glancing at the dubious address on the navigation screen, a peculiar emotion stirring within him amidst the night. Yang Mi leaned against him, murmuring indistinct words. Wang Yu assisted her into the car, igniting the engine, and drove towards a clandestine address. The neon lights outside rushed by, while the air within the vehicle was imbued with a delicate blend of rose perfume and the scent of alcohol, creating an atmosphere where it seemed the world had narrowed down to just the two of them. An hour later, Wang Yu arrived at their destination, navigating the roads in a Koenigsegg Jesko. The location, nestled in the suburbs, was a villa community that appeared to maintain a commendable level of privacy. As the car entered the driveway, neatly trimmed holly trees lined the asphalt. The villas were strategically scattered along the hillside, each encircled by iron fences adorned with climbing roses. Vines swayed gently in the night breeze, as moonlight filtered through the branches, casting a soft glow on the ground. Wang Yu slowed the car, the tires crunching over a carpet of petals. Yang Mi had a discerning eye. Though situated in the suburbs, the scenery was quite exquisite, offering both privacy and security. If paparazzi could discover such a haven, Wang Yu would have to commend them. Arriving at one of the villas, he guided the car into the basement. He then assisted Yang Mi out of the vehicle, leading her to the elevator that ascended to the main level of the villa. Wang Yu surveyed the living room, adorned in a modern minimalist style. Spanning 4 floors, it appeared to be meticulously maintained, with not a speck of dust in sight. And even the refrigerator was stocked with fresh ingredients. As soon as Yang Mi returned home, she kicked off her shoes, casting them aside. Her delicate, fair feet, adorned with bright red nail polish, appeared particularly charming. She ambled barefoot into the room and reclined on the sofa, gazing at Wang Yu, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Wang Xiao, how can you be so handsome? I've never encountered a boy as striking as you," she remarked, her voice laced with playful flirtation. Wang Yu poured her a glass of water, preparing to leave, but Yang Mi continued, "Wang Xiao, you've helped me, and I wish to repay you. How about I offer myself in gratitude?" Her eyes glimmered as she gazed at his handsome face, an undeniable fondness blossoming within her, her lips curling into an almost drooling smile. Reclining on the cream-colored leather sofa, her legs revealed a glimpse of porcelain skin. She playfully hooked her toes around the hem of Wang Yu's trousers, her voice, sweetened by alcohol, dripping with temptation. "Wang Xiao, don't you want to experience the thrill of being pursued by a superstar?" "You're intoxicated," Wang Yu replied coolly. Yang Mi rose slightly, resembling a languorous kitten, inching closer to him. "I am quite clear-headed," she declared, her fingertip tracing over his Adam's apple, pausing at his collar. "I remember our first meeting in your office. You were fixated on my chest." Suddenly, she tiptoed closer, her warm breath brushing against his ear. Why the sudden act of virtue? Just as Wang Yu opened his mouth to respond, Yang Mi stumbled into his embrace, kissing him fervently. The slick sensation caught him off guard. He hadn't anticipated her boldness, nor her passionate kiss. After indulging in alcohol, Yang Mi appeared strikingly different from her usual self, exuding an audacity that was entirely uncharacteristic. Her body pressed closely against Wang Yu, her petite hands exploring with abandon. Moments later, perhaps sensing Wang Yu's lack of initiative, she lifted her head and once again captured his lips, her murmurs laced with playful charm. "Stop pretending, Wang Xiao. You clearly desire this as well." Wang Yu savored the softness of her tongue. Who could possibly resist such a lure? He found himself unable to withstand it any longer. Without hesitation, he wrapped his arms around Yang Mi's waist. Given her boldness, to refuse would be unbecoming of a man. This was evidently Yang Mi's genuine way of expressing gratitude, and he hoped for more in the future. Wang Yu eagerly sought her affection. Suddenly, Yang Mi let out a light laugh. "Don't you want to know which floor the master bedroom is on, Wang Xiao? Come catch me." With that, she turned and dashed upstairs. Wang Yu watched with keen interest as her enchanting figure moved, truly a star in every sense. Upon reaching the second floor, he caught her before he could utter a word. Yet, Yang Mi had already risen on her toes to nibble at his Adam's apple, her teasing touch igniting a fire within him as her slender waist writhed in his grasp. Wang Yu chuckled softly, bending to lift her effortlessly. In their gaze, Yang Mi's eyes, clouded with intoxication, sparkled with a hint of triumph, only to be engulfed by a fervent kiss. The following morning, sunlight streamed through the curtains, casting a warm glow upon the carpeted floor of the bedroom. The crystal chandelier's tassels swayed gently, refracting shards of golden light. Wang Yu awoke first, startled by the cool droplets tracing down his neck and collarbone. Upon closer inspection, he discovered that Yang Mi lay atop his chest, a glimmer of saliva gracing the corner of her mouth. Observing the slumbering beauty, a smile crept upon Wang Yu's lips. It was no wonder so many online adored older sisters. They truly possessed an irresistible charm. She was the epitome of youthful exuberance, yet exuded the unique elegance of a mature woman. It's clear why Wang Xizong was so infatuated with Yang Mi. Her allure was undeniable. Her slightly ajar nightgown revealed the faint marks left from their passionate encounter the previous night, stark against her skin. In her peaceful slumber, Yang Mi shed her usual assertiveness, her crimson lips gently pouting, resembling a sleepy little girl rather than a formidable woman. Wang Yu tenderly wiped the drool from her lips, his fingertips brushing against her warm, delicate skin. She unconsciously murmured, nuzzling closer to him, her hair cascading across his body, prompting his throat to involuntarily swallow. Remembering her playful pleas and bold kisses from the night before, he found the contrast with her serene expression now to be irresistibly endearing. Chapter 246. A sense of happiness outside. The sun shone ever brighter, casting a warm hue throughout the room. Wang Yu gazed at the slumbering Yang Mi in his arms, his eyes reflecting a softness of feeling. He activated his true sight, and the instant he looked at the enchanting woman in his embrace, her information materialized before him. Name, Yang Mi. Age, 32. Height, 166 centimeters. Charm, 94. Physique, 85. Affection level, 94. Skills, Acting advanced, singing advanced, the affection level has significantly increased. It seems that last night's efforts were not in vain. Yang Mi's eyelashes fluttered as she groggily nestled against Wang Yu's chest, suddenly catching a whiff of an unfamiliar masculine scent, which jolted her awake. As she lifted her head and met Wang Yu's gaze, memories of the previous night surged back like a tidal wave, turning her cheeks crimson. After a night of shared activities and a restful slumber, her astute mind regained its clarity. Yet, she did not react like a typical young girl, shouting or feeling bashful. Instead, she calmly looked at Wang Yu and asked, "Have you seen enough?" Biting her lip, she attempted to lift herself, but let out a soft sigh due to the ache in her waist. "No," Wang Yu replied with a smile. He leaned down and gently captured her lips with a slightly forceful kiss, teasingly asking, "What? Now that you're sober, you want to deny everything?" His hand slid down her back, gently squeezing her waist, eliciting a soft hum from Yang Mi. The previously enthusiastic woman, now nestled in his arms, had regained a hint of aloofness, a contradictory contrast that only deepened his fascination. "Is Wang Xiao planning to cling to me?" Yang Mi placed her hand against his chest, her gaze filled with an irresistible allure. Intentionally, she arched her back, causing her nightgown to slip further down, revealing her delicate collarbone and expanse of porcelain skin. "Aren't you afraid of being photographed by the media, landing us in trending topics tomorrow?" Despite her words, she leaned closer, her breath warm against his ear, whispering, "Yet if it means trending with Wang Xiao, it wouldn't be a loss." Wang Yu chuckled at her response, rolling over to pin her beneath him once more. His eyes blazed with intensity as he lowered his voice. "Since it's not a loss, why don't we?" "Wait." Yang Mi rubbed her sore thighs, a flicker of panic crossing her eyes, before she hastily suggested, "How about you take a shower first to relax? We were quite busy last night and are both covered in sweat." "All right," Wang Yu conceded, leaning down to sniff his arm, confirming the scent of sweat. He then stood and made his way to the bathroom. Once he left, Yang Mi exhaled in relief, her gaze lingering on his retreating figure, filled with a mix of emotions. Drinking really complicates matters. She had never anticipated things would escalate to this point, especially with a man 10 years her junior. Heavens, how could I make such a mistake? Yang Mi acknowledged Wang Yu's undeniable charm and masculinity. Particularly, he had helped her deal with the trio of Zheng Jia, acquiring their shares and becoming the primary shareholder of the company, rendering her a great service. Wang Yu was tall, handsome, and possessed an impeccable background, making him a paragon among men. No woman could possibly refuse a man like him. Even she, a recently divorced woman, found herself captivated by Wang Yu. However, despite her attraction, she never intended to pursue anything with him. The mere thought of her boldness from the previous night made her cheeks flush uncontrollably. How utterly embarrassing. Before Wang Yu, she constantly made jokes. However, her upbringing instilled in her a sense of conservatism. Even in the entertainment industry, where the unspoken rules regarding female celebrities are commonplace, she never compromised herself. Had she chosen otherwise, her career would not have been so arduous. Consequently, she now finds herself inexplicably entangled in an inappropriate relationship with Wang Yu. Yang Mi harbors no regrets. She is already divorced, and who she associates with is her own affair. After all, she was the one who initiated the flirtation with Wang Yu. As a young man in his prime, if he could turn her down, she would genuinely question her allure and whether she had lost her charm. Perhaps the immense pressure she has been under lately, with matters concerning her marriage and company overwhelming her, prompted her desire for relaxation. It could also be that Wang Yu's captivating visage drew her in, compounded by the copious amounts of alcohol consumed the previous night. Making a few mistakes in front of Wang Yu could be deemed understandable. Yang Mi recalled Wang Yu's robust physique and mused that being his girlfriend could indeed bring her happiness. Shortly after, Wang Yu emerged from the bathroom clad in a small bathrobe, revealing his chiseled 8-pack abs. In comparison to Wang Yu's physique, Yang Mi appeared rather petite, forcing him to wear the robe in a casual manner. As she gazed at his enviable form, her eyes sparkled with admiration. His physique was nothing short of extraordinary. Full pectorals, defined abs, a pronounced V-line, as well as perfectly sculpted biceps, triceps, and shoulders, exuding strength and vitality. Even from a casual glance, the contours of his muscles were strikingly defined, radiating the aura of a robust man. Yang Mi, momentarily shedding her shyness, reflected on the events of the previous night. After all, what was wrong with admiring the body of the man who had so fervently engaged with her? She silently marveled at Wang Yu's perfection, wondering if he were indeed a favored child of the heavens. Noticing that Wang Yu's hair was still damp, she invited him to sit on the bed and took up the hairdryer, gently tending to his hair. Well done. You're quite considerate. Wang Yu nodded in satisfaction, acknowledging that this was the first time a woman had taken such initiative to dry his hair. Older sisters are indeed superior to younger girls, he mused. Yang Mi let out a playful hum, directing the airflow from the hairdryer toward Wang Yu's face, causing his hair to dance wildly and rendering him unable to open his eyes. Leaning closer, her eyes twinkling, she pouted her lips playfully. Is Mr. Wang ordering me around? Who was it that kept me up all night? Just moments ago, you were bullying me, and now that you're dressed, you refuse to acknowledge me. Huh? I recall it was you who made the first move. Wang Yu gently tugged Yang Mi into his embrace. She gasped as she found herself seated on his lap, her warm palms instinctively resting against his firm chest, the sensation igniting a blush upon her cheeks. After all, it was someone who had been inebriated who insisted on pouncing on her. He bent down, his nose almost brushing against her face. Are you trying to turn the tables on me now? Yang Mi's eyelashes fluttered as she tilted her head to meet his burning gaze, suddenly reaching out to tug at the damp ends of his hair. With such eloquence, why didn't you use those words last night? She deliberately swayed her slender waist, the neckline of her nightgown slightly parting with the movement. Or do you mean, she bit her lip gently, that in bed, you prefer to let your actions speak? I once believed my boss to be a man of integrity, yet on the very first day, he resorts to unspoken rules with his subordinates. What a villain. Yang Mi, with her lips still held between her teeth, leaned even closer to Wang Yu. The heat of her breath brushed against his face, igniting a teasing sensation within him. Villain? Wang Yu inquired with a playful interest. Since you've labeled me as such, if I don't do something, it would be an affront to your title. What would you like me to do? As he spoke, he wrapped his arms around Yang Mi's delicate waist, drawing his face nearer to her rosy lips. Yang Mi felt a surge of panic. Isn't this enough? We exhausted ourselves all night. Aren't you tired? Instinctively, she turned her head to reject his advances. Yet, under the mischief of Wang Yu's hands, she felt her entire body weaken, surrendering to his embrace, at his mercy. How about we save it for another time? She suggested. What is wrong with the broad daylight? Wang Yu replied nonchalantly, a smile dancing in his eyes. What I desire is precisely this brightness of day. Women are always like this. They say no when they mean yes, their hearts brimming with joy while their lips stubbornly resist. Even a star like Yang Mi is no exception. In her professional life, she is exceptionally assertive, which is why she has built such a vast enterprise. Her success is undeniably tied to her relentless drive. She often sacrifices sleep for her craft, and this is not a rare occurrence, but a constant. Convincing her to yield is no easy feat, however. In front of Wang Yu, even Yang Mi must concede, raising the white flag in surrender. His assault is just too overwhelming. Somehow, time inexplicably flowed into the next day. Wang Yu himself was bewildered, unaware of how the day had passed, only that he had been engaged in an unending battle. There was barely time to eat. With a contented expression, he departed from Yang Mi's villa, leaving her in a state of lingering melancholy within the room. He drove his prize car back to Tianmu Palace, retrieving his phone, only to discover that Wang Xizong had sent him a flurry of messages. Upon closer inspection, he decided to return the call. Moments later, Wang Xizong's voice came through, sounding as if he had just awakened. What's the deal with your call? What time is it? You're well aware of the time, Wang Yu retorted. Why did you send me so many messages last night? Wang Xizong replied with a hint of embarrassment. Dude, it was so much fun last night, and you didn't show up. Allow me to share with you the events of last night. The ladies were plentiful, yet you chose to remain unresponsive to my messages. What were you up to? Unable to locate you, I resorted to inviting Chun Su and Qin to join me. Enough of this pretense, will you? Wang Yu reclined on the genuine leather sofa, casually gazing out at the river view through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Am I not aware of your little schemes? Hey, that is not how one should speak. Came the muffled sounds of rustling from the other end of the line. Wang Xizong's voice suddenly rose. Last night, those models had legs that stretched to a height of 1.80 meters, and their waists were so slender they could be grasped delicately. Are you envious of me? Wang Yu mused. I know you weren't there last night. Now you're filled with jealousy, aren't you? Just admit it. Envious? I was with a woman myself last night. Wang Yu replied nonchalantly. Was that woman your girlfriend? Wang Yu found himself lost in memories, the enchanting visage of Yang Mi resurfacing in his mind. She was not yet his girlfriend yesterday, but she certainly was by last night. Initially, he intended to inform Wang Xizong that it was Yang Mi, but reconsidered, fearing it might shatter his fragile spirit. He was pitiful enough, resorting to fleeting encounters with minor internet celebrities for solace. Yet, Wang Yu's statement cast a shadow of gloom over Wang Xizong. Just the thought of your face tells me your girlfriend must be stunning. Wang Xizong lamented. Even without relying on his family background, Wang Yu's looks alone could captivate those young women. He should not have to resort to financial temptations. It was indeed a matter of lineage, and in terms of appearance, Wang Yu surpassed him as well. It was all too much. Wang Xizong felt his inflated confidence begin to deflate. Suddenly, he gasped in realization. Wait a moment. Could it be that you were with Yang Mi last night? Well, it seems you have guessed correctly, Wang Yu replied, a smirk gracing his lips, his fingers tapping lightly on the armrest of the sofa. He could not be blamed for this revelation. It was his own deduction. The phone erupted with exaggerated sounds, compelling him to hold it at a distance. Goodness, Wang Yu, you are quietly achieving great things. Wang Xizong's voice nearly pierced through the device. Is it true? How did you two come to be together? What do you mean by come to be together? She merely treated me to a meal, and that was that. Wang Yu raised an eyebrow, speaking with casual nonchalance. No way, is that truly all it took? You must be jesting. Wang Xizong scoffed, utterly unconvinced. Wang Yu remained silent. Slowly, Wang Xizong began to comprehend the situation, his tone turning mournful. I suddenly regret letting Yang Mi go to you. Damn it. Yang Mi has always seen me as a brother, never as a man. Yet you, after only a few encounters, have succeeded. Oh heavens, I can no longer endure this. Wang Xizong lamented, before lowering his voice conspiratorially. Brother, do share your secrets. What tactics did you employ? He paused, bitterness lacing his voice. I pursued her for so long, showered her with gifts, took her to Michelin-starred restaurants. And yet, I could not even hold her hand. Is it possible that I am less handsome than you? Wang Yu chuckled softly. Enough of your pretentiousness, Wang Xizong exclaimed in exasperation. But let me make one thing clear. Should you dare to bully Yang Mi, I shall be the first to object. No sooner had he spoken than a woman's playful voice echoed from the other end of the line. Principal, who is bullying whom? You seem rather affectionate. Who is this woman beside you? Wang Yu smiled knowingly. Cough, cough, what a surprise, what a surprise. Wang Xizong awkwardly cleared his throat, attempting to steer the conversation elsewhere. I had a bit too much to drink last night, and I was concerned for her safety, so I brought her back to my place to rest for the night. Oh, Principal Wang, your chivalrous rescue is quite timely, isn't it? Wang Yu teased, elongating her words mockingly. So you brought the girl home to protect her from danger? Quite the move. Wang Xizong muttered under his breath. Damn it. Everyone be quiet, just as several women's voices erupted from the phone, the commotion unmistakably loud. Wang Yu felt a wave of disbelief wash over her. It seemed that this young man had underestimated the situation. He wasn't merely rescuing a damsel in distress. He had, in fact, saved a multitude. I must cut this short. I have matters to attend to. We shall converse later. Wang Xizong's tone shifted abruptly, and he hastily ended the call. Wang Yu stared at the darkened screen of her phone, her lips twitching involuntarily. The residual cacophony of laughter and rustling garments lingered in her ears, painting a vivid picture of the chaotic and alluring scene unfolding on the other end. Chapter 248, devoted to career. As time progressed, new trending topics emerged on the internet, and the news of Yang Mi's divorce became a distant memory. Initially, her choice to remain silent in the face of slander and defamation was indeed the right one, leading to a swift decline in public interest. People soon cast aside the incident, a characteristic of the digital age, where information cycles at an alarming pace. Of course, Yang Mi had also invested in efforts to suppress the scandal through her company. Any publicity, even negative, could be beneficial. During this period of turmoil, Yang Mi's star rose abruptly, presenting her with an array of exceptional scripts to choose from, thus turning adversity into opportunity and elevating her career to new heights. Meanwhile, Wang Xizong was reveling in the company of his young companions in Shanghai. His employees were diligently managing the aftermath of the Jiaxing incident, and once all was settled, he would board a flight to the capital. Gradually, news of Wang Yu and Wang Xizong's newfound status as shareholders of Jiaxing Media leaked online, igniting widespread discussion about Wang Yu's undisputed position as the principal shareholder. However, this was merely a shift in corporate stakes, and many dismissed it as inconsequential. Wang Yu had initially believed that his early acquisition of shares in Jiaxing Media might ruffle some feathers within certain companies. Logically, it should have provoked a reaction from Shangshi Film, the very entity that had previously targeted Jiaxing Media, only to be outmaneuvered by Wang Yu. In recent years, Shangshi Film Industry, after signing a gamble agreement with Yang Mi, has not concealed its ambitions, aiming to wholly acquire Jiaxing Media. Yang Mi's fulfillment of the gamble agreement was already a surprise to them. Now, the shareholder issues have been entirely resolved. The three individuals they purchased, Zhang Jia, have proven to be utterly useless with their investment amounting to nothing. Wang Yu harbored some anticipation regarding whether Changsha Film Industry would retaliate against him. However, after a long wait, he received no response. Only the unexpected visit from the owner of Changsha Film Industry himself, who came to personally curry favor with Wang Yu. The demeanor was courteous, and the posture remarkably humble. Their conversation traversed from the development of the entertainment industry to the complexities of international relations, covering a wide array of topics. Wang Yu discerned his intentions and did not mind adding another ally in the business realm, thus refraining from adopting an aloof attitude. As their discourse progressed, Wang Yu remarked, "Mr. Wang, I often see you navigating the business realm alone at such a young age, yet possessing such a vast enterprise. Truly, you are a person of considerable wealth in your youth." Zhou Jianpeng, the owner of Changsha Film Industry, lifted his teacup, the steam curling upwards, and flattered. "The young ladies in our company hold you in great admiration. I hope to foster a friendship for you. They are all exceptionally talented, skilled in various arts. And would you care for an introduction?" Wang Yu chuckled softly, fully aware that Zhou Jianpeng's so-called introduction was merely a veiled attempt at an interest entanglement, a tactic he was all too familiar with in the entertainment industry, having encountered numerous such stories online. "Thank you for your concern, but my focus is solely on my career. Such matters are unnecessary." Wang Yu gently declined, his voice steady and resolute, showing no reluctance in his refusal. The young women of Changsha Film Industry, being either stars or future stars, are indeed difficult to turn down for an ordinary person. Nonetheless, Zhou Jianpeng persisted, placing his teacup down and leaning closer, lowering his voice. "Mr. Wang, please don't misunderstand. This is not merely about friendship. The young ladies I wish to introduce you to are the finest in our company, and I believe they could aid you in your future endeavors within the entertainment realm." Wang Yu shook his head, lifting his cup to sip the tea. Zhou Jianpeng appeared to be weaving a connection, yet in truth, he sought to ensnare him within his own web of interests. Observing Zhou Jianpeng's respectful yet sycophantic demeanor, Wang Yu couldn't help but find it somewhat amusing. It seemed that regardless of the setting, strength remained the primary factor for garnering respect. To counter the blockade imposed by Huiguang Media, Wang Yu had sought intervention from the Broadcasting Authority, forcefully suppressing any opposition. It appeared that the results were indeed favorable, as these entertainment industry moguls now demonstrated respect in his presence. Nevertheless, Wang Yu still declined Zhou Jianpeng's goodwill, as he found himself unable to engage with women in a transactional manner, nor did he possess the interest to do so. His previous actions against Huiguang Media were solely due to their breach of conduct and use of inappropriate tactics, prompting Wang Yu to respond in kind. However, Zhou Jianpeng had not provoked Wang Yu nor bore any grievances against him. Zhou Jianpeng, witnessing Wang Yu's steadfast demeanor, maintained a countenance of servility, gently sipping from his teacup as if contemplating his words. "Mr. Wang, I truly admire your composure." He placed down his teacup and earnestly remarked, "Rest assured, these are all original and absolutely flawless." Wang Yu paused for a moment, a smile dancing on his lips as he shook his head. He raised an eyebrow and chuckled lightly. "Mr. Zhou, your words are quite amusing. After all, we are not commodities. Where do the notions of original and flawless come from? Please do not misunderstand, Wang. I merely have your best interests at heart." Zhou Jianpeng replied with a forced chuckle, his fingers unconsciously caressing the teacup. He probed several more times, only relenting when he realized that Wang Yu genuinely had no interest, leaving Wang Yu at a loss for words. Observing this, Zhou Jianpeng sighed, lamenting the inability to forge a deeper connection with Wang Yu. "Mr. Wang, your simplicity and lack of desire make me, a mere mortal, feel rather ashamed." With that, Zhou Jianpeng produced a gold-embossed business card from his briefcase, stating, "This is my personal contact information. I hope you will accept it." Wang Yu accepted the card and casually set it aside, showing no intention of seeing him off. "Safe travels, Mr. Zhou," he said. Zhou Jianpeng, having encountered a rebuff, maintained his smile, nodding slightly before turning to leave. Once Zhou Jianpeng's footsteps faded entirely at the end of the corridor, Wang Yu suddenly chuckled softly, his laughter tinged with 3 parts mockery and 7 parts indifference. Zhou Jianpeng's apparent insistence on connecting Wang Yu was, in reality, a probing inquiry into his stance on the entertainment industry's unspoken rules and boundaries. The talk of original and flawless was merely a litmus test, gauging whether he might waver in the face of beauty or be ensnared by profit. After all, his exposed vulnerability was his attraction to women. It is no wonder the entertainment industry is often referred to as a vast cesspool. The owners of these companies speak so casually, while countless girls sacrifice much for resources behind closed doors. Wang Yu paid little heed to such matters. As time passed, November arrived. At the exclusive tarmac of Hongqiao Airport in the Magic City, shrouded in a veil of morning mist, Lung Feng parked the car and respectfully opened the door of the Cullinan for Wang Yu. Wang Yu stepped out, surveying the empty runway. Why hasn't he arrived yet? Wang Yu furrowed his brow. Mr. Xiang mentioned it would take a little longer, Long Lily replied, approaching Wang Yu, her mood visibly dim. Chapter 249. Not treating her as an outsider, Wang Yu raised his wrist to check the time on his Vacheron Constantine 662-000-0656 Artisan Series watch. It was already 9 o'clock. As the morning mist began to dissipate, sunlight pierced through the clouds, illuminating the tarmac. Due to weather conditions, Mr. Xiang's private jet was delayed and would take another half hour to arrive, Long Lily noted while scrolling through her phone. Are you still upset about not being able to leave together? Wang Yu suddenly inquired, his deep voice startling Long Lily into looking up, meeting Wang Yu's half-smiling gaze. She felt her concealed thoughts exposed, her cheeks flushing with warmth. No, I'm just concerned about the itinerary. She averted her gaze, her fingers instinctively fiddling with her phone, only to have Wang Yu gently grasp her wrist. Are you still telling lies in front of me? Wang Yue smiled gently, enfolding Long Lily in his embrace. Observing this, Lung Feng promptly turned his gaze towards the distance. Long Lily collided with Wang Yu's solid chest, the rhythmic thumping of his heart resonating in her ears. Wang Yu tenderly caressed her soft hair, inquiring, do you wish to accompany me? Well, your departure is uncertain, and the thought of it makes my heart ache. Long Lily's face flushed crimson, muffled sounds escaping her lips within his hold. Wang Yu brushed his chin lightly against the crown of her head, a warm smile gracing his features. Why do you behave like a child? It's only been a moment since we parted. This trip to Hong Kong will last at most a week. Once the fun has been had, I shall return immediately. Long Lily lifted her gaze, her sparkling eyes fixed upon him. Is it truly just a week? Please don't deceive me. Absolutely. When have I ever lied to you? Wang Yu gently traced her reddened eyelids with his fingers. While I am away, you must diligently manage the affairs at home. My company, Jingtuan Capital, will be entrusted entirely to you. In my absence, you shall be the boss. Amused by his words, Long Lily broke into a smile, playfully poking Wang Yu's chest. Who would want to be your idle stand-in? I fear that if something goes awry, you might blame me. Despite her words, her eyes betrayed an undeniable sweetness. Wang Yu's assurance dispelled any lingering worries within Long Lily's heart. The presence of other women around him had always been a concern for her, as prolonged separation could foster a sense of alienation. Yet, Wang Yu's declaration of trust in her to handle Jingtuan Capital spoke volumes about his faith in her capabilities. In the realm of affluent families, power struggles and financial matters reigned supreme. Yet Wang Yu's confidence in her was a testament to his genuine affection. You are my beloved wife. I trust you completely with the company. Wang Yu leaned down, planting a kiss on her forehead, his eyes twinkling with a hint of mirth. You delight in making me happy, Long Lily playfully chided, her cheeks flushed as her arms instinctively wrapped around his sturdy waist. Why would I deceive you? My heart is sincere, Wang Yu chuckled, lightly brushing her nose with his finger. If I cannot trust you, then who in this world is worthy of my trust? You are truly wonderful, husband, Long Lily exclaimed, tears of gratitude welling in her eyes as she buried her face in his chest, reluctant to rise. Sensing her quiet sobs, Wang Yu's heart softened immediately. He held Long Lily tightly, his hand gently caressing her back in a soothing manner. Why are you still crying? His voice was tender, laced with affection. If you continue, you'll become a little raccoon, and that wouldn't be appealing. Long Lily remained nestled in his embrace, reluctant to lift her head, responding in a muffled tone, it's all because of you. Wang Yu sighed helplessly, lifting her delicate face with his hands, carefully wiping away her tears as though handling a fragile treasure. He gazed at her reddened eyes and the tip of her nose, his expression brimming with tenderness. My little crybaby, if you keep weeping like this, I might find it hard to leave. During this period, the company began to find its footing, and he spent a considerable amount of time there, largely thanks to Long Lily's presence. Many matters were handled with her assistance, allowing Wang Yu more leisure time. Long Lily, in turn, felt immense joy in being able to support Wang Yu, growing increasingly attached to him, not to mention the efforts he put forth in their intimate moments, which soothed her minor grievances. This was precisely why he felt so at ease in trusting her with the company's affairs. Wang Xikong and Qin Fun were hardly reliable. They were perpetually preoccupied with chasing women. As for the company under their name, who knew when they would bother to check in? Chun Su and the chubby fellow were of similar ilk, indulging daily in extravagant pleasures amidst the blossoms of nightlife. Expecting them to be diligent workers was as unlikely as the sun rising in the west. When I arrive in Hong Kong, regardless of how busy I am, I will make time to chat with you, Wang Yu assured with a smile. If you miss me, just send me a message. Does that lighten your heart a bit? Long Lily nodded, nuzzling into his embrace. By the way, could you help me look into purchasing a private jet and yacht during this time? Wang Yu smiled. I had mentioned buying a plane and yacht before, but with all the chaos at the company, I nearly forgot. Half an hour later, a distant rumble echoed in the sky as a private jet gracefully pierced through the clouds, descending steadily toward the ground. The aircraft glided to a halt before Wang Yu and the others. This was a Gulfstream 650, renowned for its exceptional configuration among private jets, retailing an astounding $500 million, a symbol of prestige and status. The cabin door opened slowly, and the staircase extended automatically to the ground. Upon seeing someone approach, Long Lily instinctively released her hold on Wang Yu and stepped aside as Xiang Zhuo quickly descended. He was clad in a black, trendy hoodie, paired with distressed jeans and limited edition sneakers, a flashy silver chain dangling from his waist, clinking with each step, donning sunglasses and adorned with a chain around his neck. He appeared as though he had just come from a vibrant event. "Hey, my brother," Xiang Zhuo shouted, striding forward with large steps and embracing Wang Yu in a hearty hug. He finally reunited. "It hasn't been easy." He exaggeratedly wiped away tears that were non-existent. Long Lily nearly burst into laughter at his antics. Noticing her reddened eyes, Xiang Zhuo realized she must be Wang Yu's girlfriend, suddenly adopting a serious demeanor. He leaned in closer, lowering his voice. "Hey, don't cry. Once he arrives in Hong Kong, I'll keep a close watch on him, ensuring he won't even have the chance to gaze at other beauties." He then playfully winked at Wang Yu, adding, "Right, good buddy? That won't be necessary. Please don't complicate things for me." Wang Yu replied with a slight twitch of his lips. "All right then, let us be on our way," he said, embracing Long Lily once more with a smile. "Come back soon." Long Lily sniffled softly, her mood undeniably a shade somber. "All right." Wang Yu gently patted her small head, turning to join Xiang Zhuo as they walked toward the airplane. Xiang Zhuo exaggeratedly clutched her chest, exclaiming, "Oh dear, I'm dying from the suspense. If we don't leave soon, this single heart of mine will shatter into pieces." "Get lost." The bodyguard, Cold Foam, approached with a stoic expression, taking up Wang Yu's suitcase and following closely behind. Chapter 250. Some truth in that. Ascending the boarding stairs, Wang Yu strode towards the cabin, while Long Lily waved farewell from behind. As he neared the entrance, two elegantly poised flight attendants awaited him, their smiles radiant. Dressed in tailored deep blue uniforms and donning black stockings that accentuated their graceful figures, their lustrous black hair was elegantly pinned up, exuding an air of poise and professionalism. "Young Master Wang, welcome aboard the Sunshine." One of the flight attendants curtsied slightly, her voice melodious and pleasing, her face adorned with a warm smile. With graceful gestures, she guided Wang Yu into the cabin, her gaze unwaveringly focused on him, showcasing her professionalism. Wang Yu nodded slightly, his eyes sweeping over them, inwardly marveling at the impeccable standards of the private flight attendants, from their appearance to their service etiquette. Truly first class. Stepping into the cabin, he was enveloped by a subtle aroma of lavender, permeating the space and soothing the spirit, instantly providing a sense of relaxation. Wang Yu's attention was immediately captivated by the spacious and exquisite layout of the Gulfstream 650. There was none of the cramped feeling typical of commercial aircraft here. Beneath his feet lay a plush cashmere carpet, its luxurious quality apparent with each step, akin to walking on clouds, soft and comfortable. "This airplane is remarkable." Wang Yu couldn't help but murmur in admiration. Xiang will plop down on a nearby sofa, casually propping her leg, and laughed heartily, of course. "This Gulfstream 650 is the pinnacle of private jets. It was brought in just to pick you up." Wang Yu nodded and sat beside Xiang Zhuo, curiosity piqued. "How much does this airplane cost?" he inquired. While he had an abundance of luxury cars and supercars, a private jet and yacht had yet to grace his collection. "Around 500 million, give or take." "Not too much," Xiang Zhuo replied nonchalantly. Wang Yu nodded, agreeing, "Indeed, that price seems reasonable. To acquire such a lavish private jet for 500 million is undeniably worthwhile." With each glance, his desire intensified. Many wealthy individuals could afford a private jet, but few could sustain the costs associated with ownership. Xiang Zhuo shook her leg, exclaiming, "This Gulfstream 650 incurs annual maintenance costs of several tens of millions. Not to mention fuel, parking, and hangar rental fees. There are myriad expenses involved that deter many from purchasing. However, for you, this is merely a trifle." Wang Yu nodded again. acknowledging that for him, these costs were indeed trivial. A mere few tens of millions annually, though substantial for most affluent individuals, was not a significant burden for him. Even for those aspiring to purchase from the Forbes list in Huagua, careful consideration is paramount. Insufficient cash flow can render one unable to sustain such endeavors. At this moment, the aircraft glided smoothly, accelerating as it ascended into the sky. The flight attendant, with a graceful and light step, approached Wang Yu. "Good day, young Master Wang," she said softly, slightly bending her knees to maintain an appropriate distance, her face adorned with a warm yet professional smile. "During this flight, we have prepared a diverse selection of beverages for you, including rich, freshly brewed coffee, various refreshing teas, as well as premium wines, whiskeys, and freshly squeezed juices sourced from around the globe. May I ask what you would like to drink?" After a moment of contemplation, Wang Yu replied, "A cup of coffee. Please. No sugar, thank you." "Certainly, young Master Wang. Please hold on for a moment." The flight attendant responded with a gentle smile before gracefully turning to depart. Before long, she returned with a cup of coffee, kindly reminding Wang Yu, "Young Master Wang, the coffee is quite hot, so please take care while enjoying it. Should you require anything else during the flight, do not hesitate to let me know." Another flight attendant was serving Xiang Zhua, who cheerfully remarked to Wang Yu, "You are quite the household name in Huagua now. Even the big celebrities cannot match your fame." "Well, it's not entirely their fault. Otherwise, I would still be an unnoticed figure, free to wander wherever I please," Wang Yu replied, a hint of envy in his voice. He added with a wry smile, "Now, stepping outside requires a mask. Otherwise, I might be recognized in an instant." "Huh, let me tell you, our stars in Hong Kong, like Zhou Ruanfa, often appear casually on the streets, mingling harmoniously with everyone, unlike the frenzy seen in the mainland," Xiang Zhua laughed. "I believe the fans on the mainland are excessively fervent. And for a long time, celebrities have maintained an elevated status," he continued. "You might consider engaging with them as a stranger, focusing on your own endeavors. Perhaps these charming fans will not impact your life as much." "That makes sense. I shall give a try later," Wang Yu mused, raising an eyebrow as he took a sip of his coffee. Currently, Wang Yu's primary concern was the ease with which he was recognized on the streets. Xiang Zhua's suggestion seemed quite reasonable. The disparity between Hong Kong and mainland celebrities was indeed significant. Hong Kong stars were much more approachable, even shopping at local markets without a fuss. He reclined against the plush leather seat, gazing out at the rolling sea of clouds through the window. "However, is there anything exciting happening in Hong Kong lately? I cannot simply head straight to the hotel upon landing. This invitation to Hong Kong is also because our brothers have not seen each other in a long time and have missed you dearly. Old Mister. He appreciates you as well and wishes for you to visit Macau," Xiang Zhua replied, waving his hand in resignation. This June, the old gentleman stepped down from his position as chairman and has fully retired from the board. His health has not been particularly good lately. What the old gentleman thinks, I believe you're already aware. Wang Yu chuckled softly, choosing not to elaborate further. He Hongshun, the elder, has seen a decline in his health since his fall in 2009, undergoing several brain surgeries that have left him in a considerably weakened state. He has since relinquished his official duties to focus on recuperating at home. In a previous life, news had circulated online about the Gambling King's critical condition during this period. Although it turned out to be a false alarm, the Gambling King never reappeared in public thereafter, clearly indicating his deteriorating health. After expending exorbitant medical expenses to preserve his life, he ultimately passed away in 2020, which, considering his advanced age of 98, could be regarded as a peaceful departure. This time, Xiang Zhua extended an invitation to him to visit Hong Kong and Macau, largely influenced by He Hongshun's intentions, which were glaringly transparent. They were merely eyeing the Wang family behind Wang Yu. The He family is currently flourishing, wielding influence in Macau that is beyond the imagination of the average person. However, all of this hinges on the old gentleman still being alive. Once he passes away, the dynamics may shift unexpectedly, a reality that even He Hongshun cannot overlook as he contemplates the future of his descendants and the preservation of their vast family estate. The Wang family, associated with Wang Yu, is undeniably a formidable ally. Upon arriving in Hong Kong, Xiang Zhua expressed his father's desire to meet Wang Yu that evening, mentioning a private yacht party prepared for the following day at Central Pier, believing it would be to Wang Yu's liking. A cunning smile danced in Xiang Zhua's eyes. "Now that you're on my territory, I must extend my hospitality. Since your father has spoken, I shall comply respectfully." Wang Yu replied with a smile and a nod. "During this party, I will introduce you to several friends, all second-generation individuals from various industries in Hong Kong. who are eager to meet you now that they know you are here. Xiangzhua continued, of course, if you find it troublesome, I can cancel the gathering. After all, your family background and connections are highly coveted. With that, he looked at Wang Yu expectantly. After their last encounter on the high seas, Xiangzhua's father, Xiang Huaqiang, learned about Wang Yu. Following some inquiries, he discovered Wang Yu's true identity. Xiangzhua was quite astonished. He had previously known Wang Yu's family as Vanguard Heavy Industries Group, a titan in the heavy industry sector. However, he never anticipated that Wang Yu was connected to the formidable Wang family. The private jet that came to collect Wang Yu was a testament to the courtesy extended towards him, placing him at the forefront. The disparity in status was too pronounced to allow for a relaxed friendship like that of ordinary peers. That's all right. It's always good to meet more friends, Wang Yu remarked, raising an eyebrow, undisturbed by the situation. Not only was it a matter of giving face to Xiangzhua, but simply getting acquainted with these second-generation individuals was also advantageous. These individuals tend to be discreet online, yet their real-life standing, particularly in Hong Kong, is noteworthy. Looking back 30 years, they were figures who navigated both the legitimate and illicit realms. Nevertheless, it is telling that even with their status, they still seek to ingratiate themselves with him, which only underscores the extraordinary nature of Wang Yu's identity. All right, as long as you don't mind. Upon hearing this, Xiang Zhao let out a sigh of relief and subsequently snapped his fingers. The curtain at the rear of the airplane quietly parted, allowing a delightful fragrance of perfume to waft into the air, prompting Wang Yu to glance back. A woman clad in an ink-washed qipao was the first to emerge. Her hair elegantly styled and adorned with a jade hairpin, her slender waist seemingly delicate enough to grasp with a single hand, while the high slit of her qipao subtly revealed her snow-white legs. Following her was a woman of mixed heritage, stepping out in 10-centimeter stiletto heels. Her dazzling skin accentuated by a shimmering silver-fringed dress, her striking blue eyes infused with an exotic allure. There was also a lady in a form-fitting skirt, her graceful movements revealing long, shapely legs encased in sheer black stockings. An enchanting sight, indeed. Gradually, 6 stunning beauties emerged, each a paragon of elegance, none standing shorter than 7 meters, each possessing unique charm. They approached Wang Yu and Xiang Zhao, forming a line before them, and in unison, the 6 beauties greeted. Their voices melodious and pleasant. Young Master Xiang, young Master Wang, greetings. What is this? Wang Yu raised an eyebrow, casting a glance at Xiang Zhao, his gaze roving over the 6 distinctively styled women. A surprise prepared just for you. Quite the brotherly gesture, wouldn't you agree? A hint of pride appeared on Xiang Zhao's face. These are some of the most talked-about new models in the industry, and I have brought them all to you. He then gestured towards the girls before him. You ladies should serve young Master Wang well. I trust you are aware of his esteemed reputation online. If you please him, you shall undoubtedly reap your rewards. The first 3 beauties instinctively approached Wang Yu. The woman in the qipao flashed a sweet smile at him. Young Master Wang. I am Suqi. I am Isha. The mixed heritage beauty said softly in a French-accented Mandarin. The bold figure in black stockings, with an air of audacity, perched herself directly on Wang Yu's lap, the fabric of her stockings brushing against his trousers. Young Master, they call me Anne Fire. Her crimson lips nearly brushed against Wang Yu's ear, her eyes shimmering with excitement. Wang Yu had become quite the sensation online recently, being one of the most elite second-generation rich in Huagua. Judging by Xiang Zhao's demeanor, Wang Yu's identity seemed far more complex than merely that of a wealthy heir. Otherwise, Xiang Zhao would not display such deference. Ordinary heirs would not receive this level of treatment in his presence. Isha and Suqi exchanged glances filled with relief. It was one thing for Wang Yu to be affluent. It was another to possess such striking handsomeness, even more captivating in person than on the internet. The sight of his chiseled features made them involuntarily tighten their legs. If only Wang Yu would take a liking to them and whisk them away after disembarking. Wang Yu smiled, wrapping his arms around Anne Fire, who showed no signs of shyness, playfully nuzzling against him. Her eyes sparkled with gratitude for her boldness in sitting on his lap, relishing this initial contact with such an attractive gentleman. She was acutely aware of her intentions in coming here. Being in the presence of someone as dashing as Wang Yu was already an extraordinary stroke of luck. Suqi and Isha could only exchange a resigned glance, then earnestly press their hands on Wang Yu's shoulders. Xiangzhua leaned back in his seat, sipping the champagne offered by the girls. Not bad, right? They are adept in every skill imaginable, mastering all manners of arts. Indeed, aren't you currently pursuing Wabiting? Aren't you afraid she might find out? Wang Yu teased. Given the current timeline, Xiang Zhua and Guo Baiting were already in the throes of romance. Wang Yu was not surprised by this arrangement. It was merely the everyday life of the affluent. If Xiang Zhua showed disinterest in these women, Wang Yu would hesitate to accompany him to Hong Kong. People are peculiar, and that can be somewhat intimidating. Xiang Zhua remarked casually, I do have feelings for Ting Ting, but that does not preclude us men from enjoying ourselves a bit. Moreover, since you have come all the way to Hong Kong, how could I possibly dampen the mood? Xiang Zhua continued. Besides, I am currently planning to propose to Ting Ting, so soon I shall no longer be a bachelor. It is essential to cherish these fleeting moments of singlehood. He added, if all goes well, I intend to marry Ting Ting next year. Congratulations. You must prepare for the wedding feast. Wang Yu nodded with a smile. Xiang Zhua raised a champagne glass to clink with Wang Yu's, exclaiming, absolutely. I can never forget you, no matter what. Amidst the low rumble of the airplane engine, the two reminisced about their past adventures aboard the Ocean Symphony, recalling the auction, their encounter with Xiao Quan Xiangta, the ensuing gunfight, and ultimately, Xiao Quan Xiangta's hasty escape. These memories made Xiang Zhua laugh heartily, wishing he had not departed with Wang Yu at the time. After a while, feeling fatigued from the conversation, Xiang Zhua shared a knowing smile with Wang Yu before walking towards the girls behind him. I will head inside first. There are other rooms. You can find your way on your own, Wang Yu said as he watched Xiang Zhua leave, feeling a bit bored during the flight as sleepiness washed over him. Under the guidance of Fei and the other girls, he located his room and took a well-deserved rest. Chapter 252. Mind Your Manners. 2 hours later, the plane landed at Hong Kong International Airport. As the aircraft came to a halt, Wang Yu and Xiang Zhua made their way towards the cabin door, with bodyguard Lung Feng swiftly following behind them. The cabin door slowly opened, unleashing a wave of warm, humid air that enveloped them, characteristic of Hong Kong's climate. Though it was already midwinter, the chill of winter was nowhere to be found in Hong Kong. The average temperature remained above 20 degrees, offering no hint of cold. Wang Yu wore the same attire as he had in the Magic City. Looking up, he observed the somewhat overcast sky outside the airport, with heavy clouds gathering ominously, as if rain were imminent. In the distance, the mountains appeared shrouded in mist, contrasting beautifully with the azure sea. Not too shabby for Hong Kong's weather. Even in November, it remained so warm. Wang Yu nodded as he descended the stairs. He was filled with anticipation for Hong Kong, as it was his first visit. In his previous life, he had lacked the means to experience it firsthand, relying instead on the internet and films to understand the city, especially its cinematic productions, which had captivated his youth. In this lifetime, having been young and perpetually engaged in academia, I have yet to experience such moments. Now, I can truly savor it. This weather is perfectly suited for a breezy outing by the seaside, followed by an exquisite seafood dinner in the evening. Xiang Zhua, walking beside him, smiled in response. The trio made their way along the corridor towards the airport hall, amidst the bustling crowd, the atmosphere vibrant and lively. The airport was ablaze with lights, equipped with modern facilities, embodying the splendor of an international metropolis. Wang Yu observed the airport's signage, which was prominently displayed in both Chinese and English, showcasing a plethora of shops ranging from renowned global brands to charming boutiques. The familiar Mandarin was replaced by foreign tongues, a challenge for Wang Yu, a native of Rome province, yet he could still grasp fragments of conversation. Soon, they arrived at the airport exit. Upon reaching the exit, a blue Rolls-Royce Ghost came to a graceful halt by the roadside, its gleaming body radiating luxury even beneath the overcast sky. Behind were several sleek black Mercedes sedans. A few bodyguards clad in black, wearing earpieces, stood vigilantly nearby. As the door of the Rolls-Royce swung open, Xiang Tai emerged, clad in an exquisite and fashionable Chanel ensemble, her heels clicking briskly as she approached Wang Yu and Xiang Zhua. Despite being in her 60s, her well-maintained complexion belied her age, revealing no wrinkles and exuding a youthful aura. With a beaming smile, she called out from a distance, "Young Master Wang, and my precious son, how long I have awaited your arrival." Her distinctive voice resonated above the din of the bustling airport, capturing the attention of passers-by. It was then that onlookers recognized Xiang Tai, known as the Empress of Kowloon, along with Xiang Zhua and the enigmatic wealthy heir, Wang Yu. Instantly, many halted to observe and captured the moment on their phones, while a few approached curiously. At that moment, a portly man descended from the vehicle, dressed in a formal suit, yet his eyes glimmered with a fierce intensity, exuding an air of defiance. He ambled over, hands in pockets, embodying an undeniable swagger. Xiang Tai, with her neatly cropped hair and signature large earrings swaying at her cheeks, opened her arms wide, and called out in a loud voice tinged with a Hong Kong accent. Young Master Wong, we've finally been graced with your presence. I am Xiang Jia's mother. You may call me Xiang Tai. My dear, I've missed you terribly. Were you tired on your journey? Xiang Tai approached Wang Yu, enveloping him in a warm embrace while patting his back with genuine enthusiasm. Not at all, Annie. You are too kind to have come all this way to greet me, Wang Yu replied, slightly taken aback by her sudden exuberance. Yet he soon relaxed and reciprocated the embrace, wearing a courteous smile. Observing the affectionate exchange between her mother and Wang Yu, Xiang Jia chuckled and shook her head in amusement. Mom, you're being a bit too dramatic. Don't frighten Wang Yu. To which Xiang Tai retorted playfully, what do you know? Young Master Wong is an esteemed guest, visiting Hong Kong for the first time. I must extend my warmest welcome. With that, she released Wang Yu, casting a playful glare at her son. As she spoke, she grasped Wang Yu's hand, surveying him up and down with eyes brimming with affection. Look at this child. He appears even more spirited than on the video, and truly handsome. You may simply call me Wang Yu. I feel unworthy of being addressed as Wang Xiao. Wang Yu replied with a modest smile. He was somewhat taken aback by Xiang Tai's enthusiasm. Logically, as the matriarch, she should not have been so warmly proactive. Perhaps the culture in Hong Kong is more open. Such gestures of embrace are rarely encountered in the mainland. This boy is exceptionally good-looking. Then I shall call you Wang Yu. Xiang Tai chuckled softly, her demeanor kind and amiable. At that moment, she turned to beckon a portly man in formal attire descending from the car, saying, This is my youngest son, Xiang Yu. Wang Xiao. It is an honor to meet you. Xiang Yu ambled closer, a barely perceptible smile gracing his lips as he nodded in greeting. He sized up Wang Yu. Despite being older, he dared not show any disdain. Typically, he was accustomed to being arrogant and domineering, having often bullied others in Hong Kong. Yet, he was not a fool. He understood who was worth offending and who was not, especially after Xiang Tai had specifically cautioned him before their outing. Wang Yu's background astonished him, and he felt compelled to tread carefully. This was already a considerable restraint on his part. Hello, Wang Yu said politely, offering a perfectly timed smile. Xiang Yu raised his hand, shaking Wang Yu's, the gold watch on his wrist glinting in the light as he remarked, We are of similar age. Since you are friends with my brother, you're my friend as well. Henceforth in Hong Kong, feel free to reach out if you need anything. Xiang Tai shot Xiang Yu a disapproving glance, lightly patting his arm with a feigned sternness. You rascal, speak more courteously to Wang Yu. Do not be so presumptuous. Then, turning to Wang Yu with a beaming smile, she explained, Wang Yu, do not take offense. This child has a sharp tongue, but his heart is not unkind. It's quite all right, Wang Yu replied with a smile. Xiang Yu's straightforwardness suits my temperament. Among the gathered crowd, whispers circulated with differing opinions. Isn't that the youngest son of the Xiang family? I heard he used to cause quite a stir. What brings Wang Yu to Hong Kong? It seems Xiang Tai holds him in high regard. It is said that Xiang Yu is not at all like his brother. He is not one to be trifled with, and brawling is second nature to him. Alas, the current world is no longer one of brute force. Indeed, but Xiang Tai dotes on these two sons. Shoo! Keep your voices down. This is the Xiang family. Are you courting death? What is there to fear? Can Xiang Yu really beat me up? Upon hearing this, Wang Yu stifled a laugh. Were it not for his exceptional physical condition and heightened hearing, he would have struggled to catch their words. In the presence of the involved parties, they dared not speak loudly, resorting instead to hushed murmurs. However, he gleaned some understanding of the Xiang families standing in Hong Kong. The title of Emperor of the Nine Dragons is not merely a boast. In Chapter 253, the gold foil mosaic wall, the Xiang family, despite experiencing some decline over the years, remains a formidable force that few dare to provoke. Whispers of gossip reached the ears of the onlookers. Xiang Yu, upon hearing them, though unaware of the specifics, could discern from her gestures that the remarks were far from flattering. His expression darkened slightly, eyes flashing with displeasure as he scanned the crowd. Scoffing, what are you staring at? Never seen a handsome man before? His fierce gaze sent several individuals who had intended to approach for a photograph, retreating a few steps. Yet a few girls remained undeterred, giggling and inching closer with their phones in hand. Xiang Yu's face hardened, ready to unleash his irritation. Noticing this, Xiang Zhuo promptly stepped in to smooth things over, placing a hand on Xiang Yu's shoulder. Enough of this posturing. You should tone it down in front of young Master Wang. Let us get in the car. Got it. You worry too much, Xiang Yu muttered, shaking off Xiang Zhuo's hand. Over the past few years, their relationship had softened considerably, or else Xiang Zhuo would have found it challenging to rein him in. Xiang Tai, unfazed, pulled Wang Yu towards the vehicle, chattering away, Wang Yu, I prepared a plethora of delicious dishes for you today, all authentic Hong Kong delicacies. I personally cooked a few, so make sure you eat plenty. Xiang Tai's efforts were appreciated, and Wang Yu smiled in response. He glanced at the aloof Xiang Yu, choosing not to comment on his behavior. In his view, every social stratum has its own survival strategies, especially for the Xiang family, which has thrived amid the tumult of Hong Kong. Their ability to flourish on this land for so many years underscores their adeptness in navigating the city's intricate dynamics. Hong Kong, being one of the first places to engage with the West, has embraced Western values. Here, the law of the jungle prevails, rendering Confucian morals and the doctrine of moderation less effective. Once inside the car, Wang Yu settled into the back seat of the Rolls-Royce, while the bodyguard Lung Feng took his place in the following Mercedes as per Xiang's was arrangement. The convoy then set off towards the horizon, weaving through the winding streets. Outside the window, palm trees swayed gently in the breeze, their broad leaves rustling softly. Wang Yu gazed out, observing the bustling street, where vehicles flowed like water and pedestrians hurried by, imbued with the city's unique energy. The architectural styles lining the streets were diverse, featuring both towering modern skyscrapers and quaint, historic colonnades. Beneath the colonnades, shops stood shoulder to shoulder, their vibrant signs and the lively sounds of haggling and conversation creating a cacophony of excitement. It was noon, and the atmosphere was particularly lively. Noticing Wang Yu's interest in the street scene, Xiang Tai began to elaborate. Tonight, Xiang's will take you to Mong Kok for the most authentic street food. Certainly, you will find satisfaction, chuckled Wang Yu, his gaze drawn to a bustling tea restaurant on the street, where a queue of patrons awaited. Tea restaurants in Hong Kong seem particularly popular, he remarked. Indeed, Xiang Tai enthusiastically elaborated, tea restaurants are a hallmark of Hong Kong culture. Delicacies such as pineapple buns and yin yang milk tea are quintessential offerings that you must try shortly. Wang Yu observed the lively atmosphere of the street market, unable to suppress his admiration. This is a world-renowned financial hub, yet lacks the cold, steel forest characteristic of places like Shanghai. Instead, it brims with the essence of life. Precisely, Xiang Tai nodded in agreement. Take the Central Market, for instance. It was once a marketplace for daily necessities and fresh produce. Steeped in the memories of old Hong Kong, although it no longer sells vegetables and meats, it has transformed into a vibrant venue for dining, shopping, and exhibitions. While still preserving many historical architectural features, you should explore it when you have the time. Wang Yu listened intently, occasionally interjecting with a comment. Before long, the vehicle entered Kowloon Tong, a district replete with opulent residences. It was said that the Xiang family's villa was worth over $1 billion, a true testament to luxury. With Chung Long's residence reportedly located just across the street, the car came to a halt before an extravagant villa, and Wang Yu followed Xiang Tai inside. His eyes were immediately drawn to a meticulously pruned bonsai tree, alongside an open-air swimming pool. Upon entering the living room, he noted the warm luster of the teak flooring beneath his feet. An antique celadon vase adorned the entrance, while a collection of Zhang Daqian-esque calligraphy and paintings decorated the walls, alongside an impressive array of designer handbags that numbered well over 100, an epitome of opulence. Wang Yu paused before a wall adorned with gold leaf mosaics, his hand gently caressing its surface, evident in his eyes. Noticing his fascination, Xiang Yu proudly explained, "The craftsmanship of this wall is intricate. It requires gold with a purity of 99, which artisans meticulously hammer into sheets as thin as 1/10,000th of an inch. Coupled with dozens of specialized techniques, this results in a unique texture created according to innovative designs and requirements. The gold leaf possesses a distinctive metallic sheen, exuding a luxurious and elegant aura that enhances the grandeur of the villa's living space, creating a stunning decorative effect." Wang Yu's gaze lingered on the gold leaf mosaic wall. At that moment, Xiang Tai approached with a warm smile, beckoning, "Wang Yu, come here and have a seat for tea." She led him to a meticulously arranged Chinese tea table in the living room, where exquisite tea wares awaited, the Zisha teapot appearing as a charming antique. Xiang Tai gracefully picked up the teapot, pouring steaming hot water into the cups to warm them, her movements fluid and elegant as steam wafted into the air. The entire action flowed seamlessly, embodying a rich sense of tradition. Today proved to be rather unfortunate. Your Uncle Xiang is ensconced in his work, still attending to affairs at the company. However, he assured me that no matter how busy he is, he will make it back to meet you, which should be merely a matter of moments. As Xiang Tai placed the Tiguanyin tea leaves into the pot, he explained with a smile, "You're too gracious. Uncle Xiang's busy career makes it a privilege for him to carve out time to see me. Wang Yu responded politely with a smile. Xiang Tai continued his tasks, the aroma of the tea permeating the entire living room with the infusion of hot water. He discarded the first steeping of tea, then refilled the purple clay pot with water. The resulting brew glimmered a radiant golden hue as it was gently poured into the cup, its fragrance becoming increasingly rich. Here, taste this authentic Anshi Tiguanyin, and tell me what you think. Xiang Tai offered the teacup to Wang Yu, pouring himself a cup as well. He took a delicate sip, a look of contentment gracing his face. I have a penchant for fine tea. No matter how hectic my day may be, I always reserve a moment for tea. It soothes the mind.